Hello, hello, everybody. Are we live? Are we live? Obviously, a bit of delay, so I'm not going to be able to speak as fast as humanly possible to you guys from the stream perspective. I'm trying to open up the stream on the phone, on the YouTube app, so I can see the chat while I stream on TikTok. Because obviously, having so many chats will not be super clear. The TikTok stream has not started yet. Hello, Heikel Hires. I'll be starting the stream soon. Okay. Not started yet. Hello, Heikel Hires. You see, this camera here is I just have my desktop open, or like the thing I have to capture is capturing the display, and I just put it over the TikTok live studio. At some point, I'm gonna get chat. I'm gonna try to see if I can get chat on screen. You know what I mean? But I think we're good on the YouTube end here. Okay. So for now, let me get out of here, and I see the chat on my phone there. Let me go and get with just this Google Chrome here. Open that up. Actually, I can keep OBS down for now. I'm gonna open up a window here for myself so I can do like quick research while I do the debates whenever I need to. Always good to just have that ready. Yeah. Poop versus pee debate when? Yeah, that would be a pretty good debate. Which tastes better? Make sure my volume is not being heard there. And then I'm going to go live on the TikTok right now. Oh, actually, I got to change the title. Kamala greater than Trump. Change my mind. And about me, I just voted for Kamala. Was it the right move? Anything more provocative. Donald Trump bad. No. I think that's a little too simple. I need something more complex, you know? I'm just gonna put change my mind. Change my mind. Alright. With a bunch of exclamation marks. Go live. I'm going live right now. Now I wonder if there's a way I can get the chat easily visible for you guys. You know, if I could. No, that don't look good. Well, maybe if I go to OBS. Hello, welcome. I'm doing a stream on YouTube and TikTok. Of course, I'll be getting people from TikTok to join and debate. You guys see the prompt, Kamala's better than Trump. Feel free to change my mind. I actually just voted today, and I voted for, you guys could probably tell who I voted for based on what I'm saying. On the YouTube chat, Pixelated FN says, I'm voting for P. Hey, real for that for sure. Yeah, I'm not gonna put the TikTok chat on the YouTube, what YouTube can see, because YouTube actually already has a chat, so I will just be responding to both chats. Matt from Long Island, welcome. Yes, okay. The strategy when you start up these debates on your TikTok is to talk very boldly, and it'll piss people off, and then they'll come on to debate you. In YouTube chat, Austin says, you rizzed up Ben Shapiro. I did, and I think... yeah, I rizzed him up pretty well. Mother's in TikTok chat says, yes, Kamala 2024. You know it. You know it. We're kind of waiting for TikTok to give that initial boost to get, sending out the stream to people. So I gotta kind of mentally prepare for a bunch of people being very mad, when they start coming in, and that's okay. It's part of the game. It's fun. It's fun. I'm kind of waiting for that TikTok jump. But I guess I didn't vote either, but does Trump want to use your taxes to pay for inmates' gender changes? I'm curious, like, where on Kamala's platform she says she wants to do that. I'm curious, really, how much it costs compared to Trump's tariffs, which would cause, like, insane levels of inflation that would make the inflation in 2021 look like a joke. Right? It would be a national sales tax, almost like $3,000 new tax, pretty much, on every single, for every single person that, buys shit, essentially. Right. Now, I got my prop here for those who disagree. If you want to debate, please feel free to come on to the TikTok Live, or if you're on the TikTok Live, feel free to come on and let's have a conversation about the issues that matter. Also, for folks in the chat, in the TikTok chat, leave a like. Same with the YouTube, you could leave a like too. But on the TikTok chat, send out those hearts, because those hearts, apparently, I think, boost the stream out to more people. Maybe. I think that's how it works. Might be wrong. I'm not too sure. She already paid for some. I don't know how she personally paid for it. I don't know. Like, she doesn't really have governing power as vice president. All she can really do is break tide votes. So I don't know if she personally signed in the pay for transgender surgeries bill or something like that. I think I focus more on the important things like the CHIPS Act, which are historic investments into manufacturing that we've seen under Biden, The blood-starved beast in TikTok chat says, a vote for me. Quite the option. Leave some likes, everybody. Leave some likes. Let's get this stream boosted. Let's get some angry folks on, and we'll have a conversation. Or it could be a nice conversation. That's the thing about this, You gotta, like, adjust what you're saying to who you're talking to. If it can be a nice, productive conversation, then so be it, right? Of course, the audience loves to see the blood sport back and forth, and as a person debating, those are fun. But I'm sure every single time I've done these TikTok streams, we've seen pleasant conversations start, right? 2 concurrent viewers. Shout out to them. It's a slow start, but that's kind of how all TikTok lives be. You just gotta wait for it to be sent out to a bunch of people, and suddenly someone's gonna see your prompt, and they're gonna be like, "Wow, this person's horrible. They disagree with me." TikTok Live has been fun. I'm seeing a lot of likes come in. Shout out to whoever's sending that. I encourage it. I might have to open the TikTok and go on my other account and leave some more likes. I think we just passed 1,000 likes. We just passed 1,100. What is going on, fellas? For the people currently watching in the TikTok live, shout out to them, because they are pushing out these hearts. You know what I'm saying? More hearts. Honestly, chicken tenders greater than chicken nuggets changed my mind. Oh, it's Mother's pushing it. That's real. That's real. I thank you for that. I had a feeling. Chicken tenders greater than chicken nuggets changed my mind. Well, that's an interesting perspective. Chicken nuggets, I think it depends. Depends on who's making the chicken nuggets and chicken tenders. I'm a fan of McDonald's chicken nuggets. I'm a fan of PDQ's chicken tenders. But, for example, Publix and Walmart, they have chicken tenders, which are pretty good when they're warm, but the moment they cool down, well, it could be better, right? So TikTok Live is being pretty slow to push this stream out. I feel like the strategy at times would be to sort of reset the live stream on the TikTok end. So I might do that. I'm going to give this a few more minutes to see if more people start coming. But if that's the case, the people watching, the people liking, please return back to this stream, because I'll be back if I do that. But for now, I'll give it like 2 minutes to see if it changes. If not, we'll restart the TikTok Live so it gets boosted again. It's a bit of a weird system. What headphones do you have? These are just like $30 random brand headphones from Amazon. The brand is like some Chinese company that I don't even know what the company is, but it gets the job done, So, I quite like it. Isaac Joyan, why Joyan? Littech Joyan. Folks, I voted for Kamala Harris, and some people might not agree with that perspective, but that's okay. It's the correct perspective. People are right to be wrong. But if you disagree with my view, feel free to join this stream, join as a guest, and we'll have that conversation. We love having conversations here, folks, right? And we don't love Donald Trump, who wants to do these ridiculous tariffs, which will destroy the economy, will do mass deportations, which will cause a labor shortage. It would be a disaster. It would be a disaster. And frankly, I think he's not a very smart guy. I don't even think he knows the difference between a trade deficit and the deficit as it relates to the debt. Do you guys think that he does? Littech says it'll cause a rise in wages. What, the tariffs? Yeah. I'd like to see some evidence of that. I'd like to see an economist come out in support of that. Jesse JDM says, average Kamala supporter. Maybe. I feel like I'm shorter than average. Those illegals are costing us billions. Well, it would cost you a hell of a lot more to kick them out, I can tell you that. Go blue if you love Diddy. Brother, I have some bad news for you. Search Donald Trump and Diddy. Search what Donald Trump has to say about Diddy. Please, please search that. It's the funniest shit I've ever seen. What do you think about Tim Walz putting tampons in man's bathrooms? Brother, if you don't have a part of your body that needs a tampon, then it doesn't really concern you. Prada Zombie says, we love Diddy. Oh my god. Search up Diddy and Kamala. What the hell? Diddy and Kamala never met, as far as I understand. There's literally multiple pictures with Diddy and Donald Trump. Are you insane? Somebody asked to join. Wait a minute. Wait, where'd that request go? I saw the request. It's gone. For the person that requested to join, request again. I'll put you in. Kamala went to Bud. What does that even mean? Hi, you got those headphones? I see that in YouTube chat. Y'all do these lives. Wait, hold up. Somebody's requesting. I'll add you. I'm gonna just respond to this. Y'all only do these lives because you like to argue. You're not looking to change your mind. Look, if you got information that can change my mind, that would be wonderful. I mean, personally, no one has, but that's why I'm inviting everybody to come in. And the person that just joined, your username is a 6. Welcome to the stream. What's on your mind?
The new Fortnite season.
You don't sound over 18. I can't let you youngins on this stream. Sorry about that, buddy. Yeah. Also, Jeffrey Epstein. There was just released audio of Jeffrey Epstein talking about the inner workings of the Trump administration. You guys should look it up. It's very interesting. Marrying to carry the boats. Marrying? What's up, buddy? What's on your mind? Can you hear me? Hello, hello.
Yo, let me eat your butt, yo.
Alright. Y'all, let's have some debates, bruh. Talking about eating butt. That's crazy. What's up? Hello?
Yo, what's up?
Yo, what's on your mind, buddy?
Dick.
Hey, I know what that's like. I can tell you that. Alright, let's respond to chat for now. Let's see. She genuinely is clueless about any aspect of the office and the situations of our government. I'm assuming you're talking about Kamala. Based on what? Like, what is that based off of? Harris 2024. Katie, I agree with you. Yeah, no, people getting freaky out here. Trump tariff would lower household incomes by nearly $3,000. Yeah, it'd be like a new $3,000 tax on everybody, a sales tax in a way. In Florida, there was a text being pushed out by People Power for Florida where they said, Freaky Bob here. Ann McDonald's? What is Ann McDonald's referring to? All of you don't know what's right. It's all Congress. Why are you saying she went to his party if you don't care? This JVN person trying to say that Kamala is friends with Diddy or something when literally Donald Trump on The Apprentice was like, I love Diddy. And Trump is only lowering the top 1%. Yeah, Trump, I mean, he works for the top 1%. Those are his guys. I mean, the Trump tax cuts are a disaster. It's horrible. And he wants to do more tax cuts for the rich, but he's also floating around. You said putting words in your mouth. I mean, you can come on stream, and I want to hear your words. I want to hear how. I want to talk about how Donald Trump is connected to Jeffrey Epstein and to Diddy. I'm curious. Let's see here. 999 Bree has requested join. Let's put them in. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
What's up, buddy? What's on your mind?
From you.
There's so much echo on your end. I'm gonna keep it so real. Horrible audio. I'm not gonna lie. Dennis Leal in the YouTube chat. Welcome to the stream. And Justin says, I couldn't vote for Kamala after watching her interviews and debates. You mean the debate where she kicked Donald Trump's ass? What are you talking about? That's crazy. Hello, Demon Time. I feel like we talked before. Or your profile picture's familiar. Did we have a conversation before?
Yeah.
Or your profile picture's familiar. Did we have a conversation before? Hold on, there's an echo on your end. You got like headphones or something?
Or your profile picture's familiar.
What?
Did we have a conversation before?
There's a big echo on your end. You got like
headphones or something? Or your profile picture's familiar. Did we have a conversation before? There's a big echo on your end. You got like
What?
headphones. Did we have a conversation before? There's a big echo on your end. You got like
Okay. Blowing a one. Bit of a freaky name, but let's put you in. What's up, buddy? What's on your mind?
Over, bro. I mean, I don't know why you guys be doing this shit. It's like it's already done, dude. Like all the votes are in. Like you guys will find out.
Election day is Tuesday, my friend.
Exactly.
But also,
So why are you guys
being done? This isn't really being done for the campaign. I'm doing this because I like arguing, and I'm waiting for my phone to charge before I go to the gym, and I'm making some content. Right?
You're
Why do
making
people
content.
do anything? Yeah. So, do you disagree with my statement, though?
What's the Sixth Amendment?
I can't name it off the top of my head.
Yeah. You have a good one, buddy.
Okay. Does anybody fucking put the founding documents? Remember the founding documents off the top of your head? It's like I watched Jubilee. I watched Destiny debating, and this guy was like, Demon Time. Yes, there was a lot of echo in the chat. That's why I had to kick you. It's kind of was a lot. Lucas says I need some help. I kind of don't know if you mean that, but let's put you in. Hello, hello.
Hey man, what's up?
Not much, not much. What's on your mind?
How are you? How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. It's a wonderful
Good,
day.
good. It is a good day. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So what's on your mind?
I need some help.
I really doubt you do, but
I do. I want to have an actual I need some help understanding
yeah, sure.
why Kamala is
If you have
better than
questions,
Trump.
then if you have questions, let me know.
Yeah, dude. I'm just wondering how Kamala is better than Trump.
I mean, I
Need
think
some
the
help.
policy, she's better. I think Donald Trump's proposals for this election have been disastrous. I think his presidency was horrible. We can go into the nitty gritty on detail, but is there like a specific topic? Like, well, we can start with the economy, right?
I do want some detail. I need some help.
Yeah.
I need some help.
Yeah, so Donald Trump in 2016. You know what the NAFTA is? You know what TPP is?
No, what's that?
Those are trade deals, which Donald Trump rightfully ran against. He said he was going to get rid of it. He did not approve of the TPP.
So what were they for?
Free trade, trade deals between countries, right? He said in his point of view, they took away jobs, right, from the manufacturing industry. So he campaigned on running against it, which I personally, as someone on the left, agreed with his position. The issue is when he was governing, he did the USMCA, which was essentially just NAFTA with provisions from the TPP. So he made a big promise, one of the few good promises he made, and he failed on it, right? Manufacturing did not make a comeback under Donald Trump. He promised to do an infrastructure plan. He didn't do that. Now what he's talking about is mass deportations, which right-wing sources are saying will find a job shortage. Now what he's saying is he wants to do tariffs across the board, which is just economically, because we're on TikTok, I can't say certain words, economic unaliving. It's a disaster. So, yeah, I mean, there's always pretty valid reasons to not vote for Donald Trump. As for why Kamala Harris is better, I mean, hopefully...
So... I respect that. I respect that. And my reasons for liking Trump, I can't, but my reasons is under Kamala and Biden, complete disaster. They just left the border open,
Well,
and we're
border
just getting
crossings
fucked
are
left and
down,
right.
so I'm sure you're happy about that information, right?
Say again?
Border crossings are down. They're about around like the Obama-Trump era of border crossings this year. They've been down.
Border
each month.
crossings are down, but they recently shut them down or something?
They didn't shut down the border, of course. You know, there's still the process occurring, but in
What do you
general,
mean by?
we need-
Well, I
in
mean
gen-
like
in
they
general,
people
we
were
need
just
reforms
flooding
to the
in.
border. Yeah.
Say again?
Do you think that Kamala Harris or Joe Biden just pressed the people come across the border button, or do you think maybe there was broader socioeconomic trends which might have led to more people
Well,
migrating?
Kamala was in charge of the border, was she not?
What was her responsibilities? Because I know she had a position as VP related to the border and related to immigration, but do you know what her actual responsibilities were in that position?
What was it?
She was supposed to sort of deal with the root cause of immigration, why they're coming here. So she's vice president of the United States. She really doesn't have legislating power besides breaking tie votes in the Senate. But
Okay.
she was tasked with essentially going to the roots of immigration and trying to prevent more people than necessary from coming here, essentially.
So
Now,
she
really
failed.
doesn't- I'm curious, though, what in her power as vice president can she do
Well,
I know.
Sorry.
Wait. What in her power as vice president can she do about like the massive
Well,
issues in each different Central American country? Like
you
she's
just
vice president
clarified
of the
that
U.S.
for me, did you not?
Well, if
You,
what I said
I
is
thought
that
I asked
her only
you. I
legislative
asked.
power
Okay.
is breaking tie votes in the Senate. She is not a policy writer in the current position. She is ultimately not the decider about what policies come to the president's desk or her desk as the tiebreaker, right? So she can't just fix every problem in Central and South America. But when people say,
I
"Isn't
never
she in
said
charge?"
anything about
Isn't she?
fixing
I
problems.
know.
I just said the
But
border.
that's her responsibility. Her responsibility is not, "I'm gonna lay brick by brick a brand new wall," or being in charge of
Well,
immigration
Well,
and
can I
customs
ask you a question,
enforcement.
please?
Well,
Can I ask you a question?
Real quick. She's not in charge of the border. She's not in charge of kicking people out or deportations or anything like that. She's in charge of it's pretty much a ceremonial role.
So
what she's
why
doing.
would I? Why am I hearing so much about her in the border then?
Propaganda, like straight up? People love this narrative, and it's a pretty easy to push narrative. They're calling her the border czar, so she must be in charge of the border.
Can I ask another question? And I'm genuinely just curious. I'm not really trying to argue.
Yeah.
So if she's not in charge of the border and they're not really responsible for it, then why is there so many people? Rough estimate, like 20 million immigrants, illegal immigrants, coming in the country. And under Trump, it was like not at all close.
Yeah, I don't know if that 11 million number is accurate. I hear it thrown around a lot. I don't know if it's accurate, but what I've seen with border crossings is there was a spike around the end of the Trump administration, but border crossings went down during the COVID era because not only did it just kind of shut down, work and school or whatever, but in general, people were not leaving the house as much, even in the Central American countries. So immigration was down for a period. It had previously spiked, but then it went down naturally because of COVID. And then after things started opening up again, a lot of people started coming back to trying to immigrate to the United States. It's not because of a policy that was passed, right? And people started coming in, and there was a bipartisan bill that was being pushed, written by Republicans, conservative Republicans. Ultimately, Donald Trump was the one that made the call to the senators and the Congress people saying, vote no on this bill. I don't want to give them a win on the immigration issue. And I think it's pretty safe to say he doesn't actually care. It's just a political thing for him. He just wants to run on immigration being an issue. Now he's talking about doing mass deportations, which mass deportations would be a disaster. I can tell you that.
Why would it be a disaster?
It was a right-wing publication, Reason. This is not like left-wing or liberal, right? It's a right-wing publication that found that it would cause massive labor shortages, and if we're gonna do what Trump wants to do, where he wants to do massive tariffs, right? Which there's that.
So what are we
supposed? Right? Excuse me.
What are we supposed to do about the 20 million illegal immigrants that just came over the border.
Well, a good portion of, well, again, I don't know if that 20 million illegal immigrants is like
Just a rough estimate. It's like just
is
from
that
what
is that
from what I
is
keep
that
hearing.
like the total of all illegal immigration or all illegal immigrants in the United States, or is that like in the last 3 years between 2020, 20 million people just came to teleported to the United States, right? Or is it
Well,
like,
yeah,
are we talking total?
it did happen though.
Are we talking total illegal immigrants in America?
No, I'm saying the past 3 years. Like, how many came over in the past 3 years?
I'm just kind of curious. What's the total illegal immigrants? I'm just searching that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Okay, here. The total undocumented population in America this was July 2023 is 11.7 million. So, yeah, 11 million people did not just cross under the Biden administration. I don't know off the top of my head how many people crossed during the Biden administration, but what I do know is when I was looking at border crossings are down now. This entire year, each month it's been going down and down and down. It's at the levels of border crossings that were happening under Trump and happening under Obama in most of their months, right? So, yeah, I mean, people like to say, "Oh, Biden got rid of all."
Well, you can't deny that there's like a huge population just coming over the border.
Well, it's gone down, right? So.
Well, but you can't deny. Hold on.
I understand.
Let's
that
agree on something, though.
I understand that in the last few years there was a big increase, partly because it was down during COVID because things were closed and everything kind of slowed down. And then when things kind of opened up and work was more available, people started coming again naturally.
I don't necessarily know if that's the case, if that's why they were coming over.
Yeah, but it's not like Biden.
You're saying that they were coming over because COVID ended and there were available more jobs?
Yeah, more opportunity and more willingness to go outside.
I think that they weren't doing anything at the border.
You think they weren't doing anything at the border?
They weren't. They were just letting them in. Yes.
I think the border patrol agents would disagree, but no, that's not true. I mean, there was statewide,
yeah. Well, Texas.
Under the Biden administration, deportations were massive, right? Of course, there are waves of immigration here and there, right?
No, it was massive, dude. We have to agree on this.
But brother, it went down. From
Okay,
your
that doesn't mean anything.
That's a good thing, right? It's at the Trump levels now. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing, but that would have never happened if Trump was still president.
There was a spike of immigration right before COVID, or a spike of illegal immigration right before COVID, under Trump. Are you aware of that?
I thought you said that there was no immigration during COVID.
It went down during COVID. I said right before COVID, a spike occurred. And then because of all the factors, that come into decision making to cross a border, numbers were down during COVID, but before COVID, during Trump, there was a spike at a certain point. Naturally, when there's a trend of anything, especially with these big socioeconomic shit, it tends to trend. It doesn't tend to just happen and then goes away, right? So if the trend is come to America, but because of extraordinary circumstances, it goes down because of COVID. Then it comes back and it continues the trend where it was. Luckily now, from your perspective, as someone who does not want immigration, it's down under Biden in the year 2024. And I assume that the trend's going to continue. And if you want a conservative policy done to make it harder to immigrate illegally to the United States, Kamala Harris is pushing a conservative policy in the bipartisan bill that Donald Trump shut down. So I see there's a coffee cup on your screen. I don't quite know what that means. But we have been going for over 10 minutes, so I want to let a new guest in.
Wait, can I ask you one more question?
Yeah. One more question.
Are you for Ukraine or against it?
Oh, I'm super for Ukraine. I think countries that are
being
defended.
Dude.
I think countries that are being attacked should have the right to defend themselves.
Dude.
Why are you for Russia's invasion?
Okay.
Wait, why are you for invading a country?
Dude, okay. You're for us giving billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine?
In the same way that Franklin Roosevelt was for the Land Lease Act. That's my position.
Dude, That's nuts. I'm sorry.
So why do you like support Russia's invasion? Why do you just want them to get away and do whatever they want?
I think we have nothing to do with it, and we shouldn't be sticking our nose in it. And I think that's a very liberal way of thinking. And I think
that's
that
an
it's
isolationist
weird.
way of thinking, and we've tried that
No,
in the
no.
United States.
I
I think
think
it
that
is
it's really
isolationist.
okay. So then, you think we should support Israel for
No, I
Palestine coming
don't.
over and blowing them up?
I don't.
Yeah,
Because we
what
can
the
look.
fuck
We
you
can
talking
look at
about that, bro?
but that's not a principled. Oh, we should not participate in the global
What are you
world.
talking about?
What it is saying that
So we should fund
not,
Ukraine billions of dollars, but not Israel.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any
Yeah,
sense, dude. I'm
because
sorry.
Israel's in the position of Russia in their conflict, and we should be supporting countries.
No, they're
defending
not.
themselves.
No, they're not. Palestine invaded them.
I'm curious.
Hamas invaded them,
I'm curious why.
and they're
why-
retaliating.
Yeah. So at what point, if like someone like, flicks your arm and then you knock them out, do you say to the
Flicks
person-
your arm,
do you
bro.
say to the
They
person-
fucking blew
Well,
the
I'm
fuck up
curious,
out of a raid.
do you know like the gaps between the deaths and displacements between Palestinians?
Iran
and
was
Israel?
sending missiles in there to Israel.
Wait. So do you understand the gap between the deaths and the displacements that were happening before October 7th?
What do you mean by that?
Do you understand what was happening with everything, the deaths and the displacements between Israelis and Palestinians before October 7th?
What do you mean by deaths and displacements?
Do you agree that Israel was killing and displacing Palestinians before there was that sort of spike in conflict after October 7th?
Well, dude, this has been going on for
decades, right?
Yes, of
So
course,
what
but that's
is
the
the-
thing.
what is the
There was a
gap
peace
between
deal.
this-
There was a peace deal.
You think there was peace?
Dude, Trump, he should get a fucking Nobel Prize for that, bro.
What do you think there was
Trump
peace?
had them sign a peace
wait,
agreement,
wait.
bro.
Do you think
Which is
wait. You think there was a
huge.
peace agreement between, say, the government of Gaza? Because remember, the government of Gaza is different than the government in the West Bank. You think there was a peace agreement under Trump? What's the peace agreement's name?
Hold on, I gotta look it up, my friend.
Are you
I don't know it off
referring
the top
to
of
the
my head.
Abraham Accords?
I don't know, to be honest.
Okay, so you just said that Trump signed a peace deal. I mean, come on.
What do you mean? He
You-
did.
you-
That happened.
What's the peace deal then? Tell me the peace deal.
Let me look it up, dude. Calm down. Hold on, bro. Calm down.
I gave you the thing that Trump people often bring up, the Abraham Accords, and you don't even know. And you're saying there was
Is it called the Abraham Accords?
I mean, that's the most relevant Middle Eastern deal that Donald Trump signed, that he talks about like he caused peace in the Middle East. But
Well, there was peace for several years after that deal, was there not?
there was not.
How?
I mean, Israelis still had Gaza in an open-air prison, and when you look away from Gaza and you look at the West Bank, Israelis were still doing illegal settlements in the West Bank, which is not even a debate whether the settlements are illegal. It just is accepted by international law. There was multiple votes, there was multiple debates, there was multiple discussions, and it's accepted that the West Bank is being illegally settled, right? Like, if somebody came into your home and said, "This is my home now," like, I'm assuming you would have a problem with that. I would have a problem with that, personally.
Well, yeah, of course, but did Israel not give them territory?
That's what Israel's doing in the West Bank. They're going into Palestinian territory. They're going into the West Bank and literally settling in Palestinians' homes. And that's a different situation than what's happening in Gaza, where there was a blockade, right? Where food and medicine were not really coming in, where there was consistent bombings here and there. But then after October 7th, it spiked up. So there was no peace in Israel and Palestine.
Yeah, there was, though. There was a peace agreement.
In like literally 2021, Israel started doing like these massive bombings against, I believe, Gaza. Let me look this up. 2021 Israel-Palestine conflict. Yeah. They were attacking Gaza. There was, let's look at the casualties here. There was 128 civilians killed. There was 500 Palestinians injured, 500 plus In East Jerusalem, there was 1,000 Palestinian protesters injured, 72,000 Palestinians displaced in the 2021 conflict.
Okay, so then what's this by? This is the U.S. Embassy. President J. Trump has secured a historic deal between Israel and the United Arab Emirates to advance peace and prosperity in the region.
Do you think
So
the
what's
United?
this?
Do you think
This
the
is
United?
.gov.
Do you think the United Arab Emirates govern Gaza? Govern the West Bank? Do you know where the United Arab Emirates is?
Where is it?
It's next to Saudi Arabia.
Okay, but that's, I mean, well,
They
Hamas
have
and all that.
the UAE. That's like Dubai, dog. They don't run Gaza. They don't run the West Bank. They aren't Palestinians.
Well, neither are Hamas.
Hamas
Hamas
is
isn't
the
Palestinians either.
Hamas is the governing body of Gaza.
But they're not like Palestine, though. That's not them. Hamas is coming from different places. Am I wrong?
Oftentimes, the people in Hamas are Palestinians. That's the people that make it up. I'm not defending Hamas, by the way, but it just is objectively true that Hamas governs Gaza.
So I'm just confused. So, like, if Hamas came into Israel and fucked shit up and they retaliated,
You can
what's the
retaliate.
issue?
You can retaliate. If someone like pushes you, you don't knock them out, right? So we've already seen in the past the power disparity between Israel and the two different Palestinian states. We've seen consistent abuses of the Palestinian people. So if Jewish folks were living in an open air prison, if Jewish folks were in a situation where an Arab state was surrounding them and a war, a conflict between them led to 72,000 Israelis being displaced, I'm sure you would find that despicable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what Israel did in Gaza in 2021.
I'm sure it's
Before
more
October 7th.
complicated.
Again, it just goes down to a situation. It's really not that complicated. You have Israel, which is a state backed by the global hegemon, the United States, which is a modern military, which has the most modern equipment in the world, which has its own military industrial complex, which has its own sort of also civilian economy is massive, especially compared to its neighbors. And you have Gaza, which is an open air prison, and you have the West Bank, which is not governed by Hamas. Because you could say, well, Hamas is a bunch of bad guys, and they run the and they run Gaza, so they're problematic, right? West Bank is not. Yet West Bank is still facing constant abuses from the Israelis. You get what I'm saying? So this is not even equal footing. Like some bottle rockets being shot into Israel, horrible if it hurts somebody, but I think we should have that same outrage for every Palestinian life lost, right?
Well, dude, I mean,
So
let's say,
you support Israel? I'm just curious. You like Israel?
well, I'm Jewish.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I mean, there's many Jews I know that don't like Israel, right? So like, it's not like
Well, that's
you
kind of
being
nuts.
Jewish. It's not like a Jewish identity is necessarily have to be tied to a political state, you know?
I mean, it's not really political in my eyes. It's Hamas hates Jews and come over and does fucking terrorist acts, and then Israel retaliates,
Well, then,
and everyone hates Israel.
You know,
Because Hamas keeps their weapons and everything in hospitals.
You said that there was a peace deal in Israel and Palestine, and you brought up the UAE. So I don't know. You don't seem to respectfully. You don't really know the details of this conflict, right? But it really isn't that complicated. It isn't just Israel's just there and being polite and everybody hates it. It's being in an open air prison for the folks in Gaza, and having your homes and land stolen from you every other day in the West Bank. So it's just like, if this.
Well,
was
am I
happening to
wrong
Jewish
that
people,
they didn't give them more and more territory for peace?
there was more territory back in like the 40s agreement, right? their
But is
territory,
that, am I not wrong?
their territory's been getting smaller as the decades go on. So yeah, Palestinian territory has been shrinking. So I think you're wrong there. I would
Well,
recommend watching like some of Sam Cedar or Michael Brooks' coverage on the issue because those two both have Jewish backgrounds and they have pretty good takes on it.
all right,
Yeah,
that's fair.
yeah. Well, I want to let some other people in. I appreciate your time. I guess.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, have a good night, bro.
You too. First debate. I see 3 people. I don't know the order in which the people. Actually, I see Joaquin Nunez. I feel like I saw the name earlier, so I'm gonna let you in because I think you've been waiting the longest. I don't know the order of the people that joined though, so I'm gonna respond to YouTube chat real quick. Chaotic Craig says Sam Cedar is excellent. Thank you. Chaotic Craig also says, oh heck yeah, base streamer. Thank you, Chaotic Craig. I mean, stick around, follow, and subscribe. I'm doing TikTok live, but I really recommend subscribing to the YouTube channel. Same with you guys in TikTok chat. Check out my YouTube channel. Check out the main TikTok page. And follow this one, too. Bingus Blingus says another $50 billion to Israel. So true. Kalo Bo. I don't know if they're still in the chat, but they say, name a Biden-Harris policy that helps Americans. The CHIPS Act. You know, $50 billion invested into chip manufacturing in the United States. That's a big deal. Okay, yeah, no, I put in Joaquin, but they're not talking. So I'm going to switch them out. I'm going to put in this person here because they're at the top of the list. Hello, are you there? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello, hello, hello.
Yo, what's up? Your ass waited long as fuck to wait for that, buddy. Your ass waited long as fuck to wait for that. Make a clip out of that though. All right, I've been seeing Fizzy Clips wait, so we're gonna put him in. Hello.
Yo, what's up, man?
What's up? What's on your mind?
Big black dick.
Wonderful.
All right, bro. What's up?
Then he wanted to talk. Okay, buddy. I saw you wanted to come in. I accidentally declined your invite, but I'm adding you now. Misery. Hello.
Yo.
What's up? What's on your mind?
I mean, really, I mean, why do you think Kamala is
better?
You know, just, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think she has a chance to continue some of the better things of the Biden administration, change some of the worst aspects of it, change Israel policy, for instance. If she could change course from that, that'd be great. But if she continues having Lena Khan, you know who Lena Khan is?
No.
Lena Khan is the chair of the FTC, and she's been doing a great job fighting for consumers and fighting against monopolies. And we haven't seen anybody like that under Trump, and we didn't even see anybody like that under Obama, for instance, right? We've seen a major shift in our politics, and that's a wonderful thing. We have a labor department and a national labor relations board that has made for a much better playing field for working class people and made it easier to organize your workplace and has fought against sort of union busting tactics. I think that's a wonderful thing. And I hope she keeps those people in the administration there. We know under Donald Trump, his labor department, it was the secretary, it was essentially chaired by the judge who let Jeffrey Epstein get away. Right? So that's not good. That's not good. And I would hate to see a change like that occur. We can go into policy, though, of course, but if you have any response to those few things, feel free.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, what as far as labor goes, I mean, I don't know the exact statistics or anything, but as far as jobs go, I'm sure you could pull it up. What's the percentage versus the Trump administration and the Biden administration? And I don't understand how if Kamala has, obviously supported Biden on all of his policies, correct?
Yeah, she's vice president. It's kind of her job to support.
They support the president, right? So, I mean, why? I just don't see how she could change things now.
Well, I mean, of course she has policies of her own. She wants to increase housing supply, which is a very important for meeting the demand, basic supply and demand. We have so much demand for housing, but not enough supply. She wants to, when it comes to immigration, pass the bipartisan conservative immigration bill that Donald Trump called the senators to get shut down. When it comes to the economic stuff, I mean, if she continues some of the manufacturing trends we've been seeing, it's the first time in our country we've been seeing onshoring. We saw 800,000 new jobs in manufacturing under Biden. We lost 200,000 under Trump. And we're likely going to see another explosion if we keep things on track, because we've seen an explosion in construction funding, historic public and private investments into manufacturing that we did not see under Trump, we didn't see under Biden, under Trump, under Obama, under Clinton, under Bush, under Reagan. It's the first time we've been seeing this level of investment into manufacturing since like World War II, genuinely. And we know that under World War II, we saw an explosion in manufacturing investment in the U.S. because we literally had to. And I believe that in the next few years, we're going to continue seeing massive growth in that field, massive growth in potential new union members, massive growth in U.S. industry. But we need to keep things on track. And that's one of the better aspects about Kamala. I think she's going to keep us on track. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, he's talking about doing these ridiculous tariffs that no economist thinks is good. It will increase prices on everything. If we thought the inflation was bad, then this is going to make the inflation look like a joke. And I don't know what happened to the guy. I think I gave too much information there. Not sure. Let me respond to the chat a bit. Chaotic Craig says, so much tribal knowledge was lost when Trump left. So many positions are completely vacant. Interesting. Trump could barely hire anybody. Interesting. Biden and Harris brought more manufacturing back to America. Annabelle Parker, I agree. Y'all should subscribe in the YouTube chat and in the TikTok chat. Nelson Kent says, put me in. I'll put you in. I'll put you in. And if Kamala was going to do something good, she would have done it already. And if Trump would have done something bad, he would have. He did a lot of things bad. He was president. And Natalie, I don't think you understand the powers of the vice presidency. If you think, well, if Kamala wants something done now, it would just happen now. That's a little silly. All right, Nelson, I'll put you in. What's up, buddy? What's on your mind?
Wait, could you say that again?
I said, what is up? What's on your mind?
Good boy. I like it when you do what I say.
You stroking it right now? Okay. Right. Let's see. 999 Bree. I feel like I already added you, but if you say some dumb shit. Let's see. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
Not much. What's on your mind?
Nigger.
I mean, I gotta say, the Trump supporters are really convincing. I'm not even gonna lie. Let's see. Fizzy Clips, I know I added you, so I'm gonna deny you. I don't remember if you were a troll or not, but Luke, let's put Luke in. Hello, what's up?
Hi. Alright, so I have a question basically.
Yeah.
So I saw something about the GDP and like mass deportation. Can you explain that? I don't really understand that.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing about the mass deportations that Donald Trump wants to do, it would lead to massive labor shortages, which would be pretty bad for pretty important industries, especially if we see what else he's promising, which is these massive tariffs. Now, he claims it's to do things like increase manufacturing. Would it? Maybe to a small degree, and I think we can already see a massive increase in manufacturing without having to do it, but let's say that is the case. We would have an increased demand for goods and people to produce those goods, but the people to produce those goods, a lot of them would be kicked out. So there would be a labor shortage on top of this sort of Donald Trump sales tax that the consumers would burden because of the all across the board tariffs. So, I mean, he would cause economic disaster with the things he wants to do and the combination of the things he wants to do.
Right. So I've also been seeing people say, "Oh, the Americans will get jobs." Like, have you heard that too? Have you seen that?
Under what? Under Trump?
Like, due to the mass deportation, more Americans will be able to get jobs, something like that.
I mean, the thing is, people are able to get jobs now there is manufacturing being built now. 800,000 new manufacturing jobs happen under Biden, right? The reason why there's the research is showing, and this is a right-wing publication saying this. This is Reason, not exactly a bunch of liberal group, but the reason they're saying is there will be a labor shortage is because the American citizens would not just fill those positions instantly. That's just not how it works. Otherwise, if that was the case, and they could say, yeah, these jobs would just get filled, then they wouldn't be reporting on a labor shortage. But that's just not how massive economic trends work. And they also emphasize, and I think this is important, I think this is a realistic compromise. Again, these are right-wingers saying this. If we're going to spend significant amounts of money on something like mass deportation, instead of spending that, because it would be massively expensive, we should be spending money investing on ways to make our immigration system more efficient, to make it easier to immigrate in the United States, to make it so that if you're ready to work, you should be able to work. And that would require hiring more judges, hiring more workers to get that done. And I think that's a much more reasonable way to spend our money. And by the way, that would also decrease the amount of illegal immigration because people would simply be less motivated to immigrate illegally if we had a system that was actually efficient, right?
Yeah.
And
All right.
I'm curious if you're aware of this because I'm talking to a lot of Trump supporters and they don't know this. Border crossings have gone down each month of this year, so that's I guess a thing that both sides would celebrate, considering that Kamala wants to do like a Republican immigration bill, and Republicans don't want much immigration, so immigration's down.
Right. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's the end of that conversation. So, if anybody wants to hop on, feel free. No N-word drops. That would be nice. That would be pretty bad. All right, fizzy clips. I think you've been one of these annoying motherfuckers, so you're banned. I think you've been trolling. Just say in the chat. Was fizzy clips on some silly shit earlier? Nuh-uh. I don't trust that. Alright. That's enough of you. You're done. Banned! Bitch. Folks, if you actually have a real thing to debate, you should come on. Let's check out YouTube chat. Let's see here. This person says that they're politically independent in voting for Stein. I don't see a use in voting for Stein. That doesn't really help anybody. This person here says that they are both bad, but I would never vote for either. I mean, Kamala's just objectively better. Yeah, these Trump supporters are making me reconsider absolutely nothing. You know what I think we should do? We should do to document immigrants? We should document the heck out of them. I agree. Folks, if you agree with my position that Kamala Harris is the better candidate than Donald Trump, let me know in the chat. If you disagree, also let me know in the chat. If you disagree, feel free to come on to the stream and let's have that conversation. Right? G-Thang Baby left a bunch of hearts. I appreciate that. Thanks for watching. There's 9 people here. 9 people. I got a challenge for you folks. Let's like the stream a bunch so that the TikTok algorithm can see activity happening in the chat and push this stream onto more people. Also, just press the share button. I think that will help boost it. Maybe. I don't know. Potentially. Let's respond to Chrissy, because Chrissy's saying some silly shit. Something about red flag laws. Where's the beginning of this? Yeah, red flag law would be good law. What would stop the same... Oh, shoot. Chat's moving. Hold up. Chrissy shared the live. Thanks, Chrissy. What are you saying, silly shit? I might be misremembering. I apologize if I accidentally said that and you weren't. My apology, Chrissy. Justin says, you know what? Let the best candidates win, hopefully, and we'll see what happens. Yep. True. True. Folks, I'm looking for more Trump supporters to come on. If you're a Trump supporter in the chat and you disagree, hop on to the stream. Hopefully, don't say the N-word. That would be good. Dawson Hall, Gavin, if you disagree with this position that I have on the screen that Kamala Harris is the better candidate than Donald Trump, then let me know on come on to the stream. Or say something in the chat. That's also appreciated. Justin leaves a smiley face. I agree. Only leave a smiley face in the chat. I'll show by example. Let me put a little smiley face. Boom. No, it didn't send. There you go. Boom. What's your favorite of Kamala's policies? I'm a big fan of her housing policy. I'm a big fan of increasing supply to meet demand. And I think even in local politics, that would be massive. That would be massive. I agree with you. I just think Harris needs to be touting the benefits of immigration more than she is. I 100% agree. 100% agree. The Democrats have taken such a right-wing shift in immigration, which, considering how many conservatives still think that they're like this radical liberal on immigration, shows how little they actually care. But yeah, she's gone too far right on immigration. I think if she's in there, she'll probably handle immigration like Obama did. She'll do a lot of deportations, which isn't fun, but she is nonetheless better. There are more options. I voted third party. Yeah, I don't know, man. Depending on where you're at, I guess it has more impact or not. I would definitely not recommend voting third party in a swing state, and even in the down ballot races. Trying to argue Kamala is better than Trump is absolutely psychotic, according to Vegas Place K. Well, Vegas Place K, I mean, feel free to come and talk. All right, Jordan sent a request, so we're going to put in him. Jordan, what's up?
Okay.
What's on your mind?
So.
Okay, wait, Jordan, I'm sorry. I can't let little kids on.
I'm not a little kid.
You don't sound over 18, bro. I'm going to have to disconnect you. No, nothing personal.
Fair enough. I mean, I could.
Yeah, I see the other. Micah says beta. Okay, Micah. I mean, feel free to come onto the stream and let's have a conversation. There's nothing to talk about. It's sad you support communism. I mean, tell me which of Kamala's policies is communism. I would love to have that conversation. Communism. You guys can't even define it. Y'all will look at a centrist Democrat, some moderate ass person like Kamala Harris, and be like, man, that's literally Stalin, bro. Janet, tell me 3 of Kamala's greatest achievements. Well, she was the tie-breaking vote on policies, which led to massive investments into manufacturing in the United States, caps on insulin, which saved lives, and honestly, if she beats Donald Trump in November 5th, that'd be a pretty damn big achievement. But also, like, in terms of other things, I mean, you can look at the American Rescue Plan in general. That was a good policy. You can look at the Inflation Reduction Act as well. I'm a big fan of those. Why would you vote for Kamala? What has she done for us in the past 4 years? Well, she's been the vice president on tie-breaking votes, like I just explained, passed the Inflation Reduction Act, passed the American Rescue Plan, passed the CHIPS Act. And I think the CHIPS Act is wonderful. But didn't she propose a new tax bill that would tax unrealized capital gains? Yeah, for people making over $100 million. I'm assuming prescribed hype that you don't make $100 million. Cage says she's the reason inflation is high. Yes, Kamala Harris actually pressed the inflation button. She voted with progressives 97% of the time. Trump did the insulin price cap. Those are policies caused well, Trump didn't do the insulin price cap. It happened under Biden, and that voted with progressives number. I mean, she was in a Republican Senate where none of the progressive bills would pass. She was going to run in a Democratic primary where she wanted progressive support. It was a cynical political ploy, but really she is not as progressive as she talks about. Folks, if you disagree with my position, feel free to come hit that request button and join the stream. This person says, how will you feel when Trump wins? How are you going to feel when Kamala wins? I'm curious. Trump, hey, this isn't even talking about like the policies right now, but from a campaigning perspective, Donald Trump has been running a horrible, horrible political campaign. You compare this campaign to the campaign that he ran in 2016, it's so different. So different. All for Soros, New World Order, less than Trump equals America. Wannabe fit chick, that's some great math. Hey, little bro, what are you watching on your screen? I mean, my computer's in front of my screen. Come on, dude, look it up and play for your audience. I don't know what you're talking about. I probably didn't read your message from earlier. Hey, little bro, what are you watching on the screen? I mean, I have, again, I'm streaming. What are you talking about? I'm on the computer. Shelley Moore, Capito Inflation Reduction Act. I mean, I'm not gonna watch a video on this stream. I'm bringing a guest up. If you want to argue the problems with the Inflation Reduction Act, you can personally come onto the stream. What are her policies? Or he policies? Are you talking about Trump or are you talking about Kamala? I read the unrealized capital gains tax will impact the middle class like the value of your home goes up. It only impacts assets and people worth over $100 million. So, she's a congresswoman. Oh, so she's like a Republican hack? No offense. I'm just being direct. The Inflation Reduction Act was being used to fund anti-American organizations. I mean, come on to the stream and tell me what anti-American organizations are being fucking funded. Newport treads. Let's see here. Hello, what's up?
Yo, Kamala Harris said she's gonna ban assault weapons.
Donald Trump put more anti-gun legislation than any other president before him, even under Obama. So,
not true.
You guys had said the same narrative of Obama. He's gonna take.
It's not a narrative. No one mentioned Obama or Trump. All I mentioned was Kamala Harris.
Hold on. Don't get
I didn't mention Obama or Donald Trump.
Don't get triggered right off the bat. We can have a conversation, right? I can tell by your voice you're getting agitated.
Well, I'm not triggered. You're just going off topic. I want to talk about Kamala Harris, right?
I'm giving a broader
not
picture
Obama.
I'm giving a broader picture saying that you Republicans have been saying that guns are gonna be banned every single time there's been a Democratic administration.
I'm an independent.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You're one of these independents.
Registered.
Yeah.
Registered
Anybody
independent.
can register Republican, but people have their political leanings.
Voted for Biden. I voted for Biden.
Right?
2020. 23 years old.
Cool, buddy.
But I switch up my vote now.
Do you think... Yeah, I could tell.
I voted. I'm registered to vote, pal. I voted Democratic in the 2020 election. How you gonna tell me? I'm not a Republican.
Well, you did say you changed your mind on the voting for Democrats and Republicans this time around, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you voted for...
Yeah. I changed my mind, so I'm voting for Donald Trump. Doesn't make me a Republican.
So I'm curious what
makes me an
policies you like about Donald Trump.
I like his First Step Act policy that helped my buddy get out of jail over his minor drug charge that he had. So he had a minor drug charge, and it helped him get out of jail. I respect that.
That was policy that was being worked on under the Obama administration that then got to Trump's desk.
Was it? No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't. It was brand new legislation. It was brand new legislation written in 2018. Brand new.
When do you think the development of it started?
It was brand new legislation in 2018. You're trying to accredit it to Obama, but Obama had the harshest crimes and sentences for people on minor drug crimes.
Do you think bills like start?
What about when Obama put Ahmad? Do you remember the Ahmad Winfrey case? Do you remember who that is? Ahmad Winfrey.
I don't know every.
He got under the Obama administration. He got sentenced to 22 years for having an ounce of weed on him.
I mean, Donald Trump also called for drug dealers to be executed. You know what I'm saying?
For what dealers?
Drug dealers.
Which drug dealers?
The ones you see on the streets. He referenced China's policy.
That makes great argument, bro. He called for the drug dealers. Good argument, bro. You can't even give me no names. I gave you multiple names now.
I said that
you can't give me one name.
He called for executing these dealers that deal on the streets.
No, he didn't. No proof. Hearsay.
Do you want me to look that up?
So, you can just yap all you want.
You're getting triggered. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can yap all you want. You're not giving me any. You're not giving me any names. You're not giving me any cases. I gave you names and cases. You haven't gave me one name.
You referenced.
You're saying Trump said this. Trump did that. Kamala Harris.
You referenced one policy that I'm not even saying is inherently bad. And
you said it was created under the Obama administration, but it was completely new written legislation. It was new written legislation. Everything was new.
Every single thing was new. That's how policy
Everything
works?
was new. It was all written. It was written at the end of December 2017, finalized in 2018. None of it came from Obama. Stop trying to blackwash history and accredit some legislation to a president that doesn't deserve it.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, cool. You have no response, which is okay. You conceded on that. Good. Let's move on.
I brought up Trump
now let's move on to the other topics. You just conceded. You're incorrect.
I didn't really concede. I brought up that Trump called for the execution of drug dealers, and
you just did.
You just said that's not true, right?
Yeah, you can just yap all you want. So
well,
you're
you
bringing
just
up
said
no
that's not
cases.
true,
You're saying
right?
Trump called for the execution of drug dealers. That's not an argument on any case. We're talking about policy.
Do you want Donald Trump's quote?
You said let's talk about policy. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want
we're
to
talking
care
about one thing, and now
hearsay.
you're trying to move on. But we can talk about Donald Trump's quote.
What about his quote? What about the quote where Kamala Harris said she doesn't like white people? What about the quote where she said white people are lazy?
We're going to be asking everyone who sells drugs, caught selling drugs, receive the death penalty. So, like, I don't know who your friend is.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
From who? Where did you find that?
That's his statement from 2023. This article was
from where?
NPR.
Where did he say that?
This was in a. Let's see here. This is an article.
You don't even know,
bro. I don't know every single Trump event. This isn't like a own. This is
dude,
like
you're reading an article. You're reading an article with some fucking with some pseudo-fascist left-wing propagandist typing some shit to get clicks,
define
so we get monetized.
Can you define
you don't even know when he said it.
Can you wait? You're just claiming he didn't say it?
Yeah, that's what you just said. You said he said it, and then I said where.
Here for you.
You said according to this article that was written in 2023.
This was Donald Trump.
That's
yeah,
what
this was
he
Donald
said.
Trump talking. This was Donald Trump talking in the New Hampshire Republican State Committee meeting in January. Do you think like that's
that's
not
what you
true?
said.
Do you think that Donald Trump was not speaking in the New Hampshire Republican State Committee meeting?
That's not what I said. That's what you said.
Well, you're denying
you said
that
Trump
it
said
happened. You're
he
just
called for the
denying that it
execution of all drug dealers,
Yes, at
which
the
he
New
never
Hampshire
said.
Republican State Committee meeting.
You said he called for the execution of all drug dealers. I said you're wrong.
I did. Yeah, you said
Prove
I'm
it.
wrong. I said he did, and I said he did it at the New Hampshire
Prove
Republican
it.
State Committee meeting.
Can you prove that? Can you show me a video?
I mean, you want to find a video? Sure.
I want you to show the entire video.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah. Sure.
I want to see the entire video, and I want to see the context of
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So then, and then while you're doing that, I can pull up a video if you want of Kamala Harris at the DNC 2 months ago saying she's going to ban all assault weapons. And an assault weapon is a weapon. It's an Armalite rifle, if you don't know what that is. So what is she going to do to the Americans that own them that want to purchase more?
More assault weapons? I mean,
yeah.
I'm assuming
that's a Second Amendment restriction. That's anti-constitutional.
You don't think that amendments can have restrictions?
No, not the Second Amendment, you fucking walnut. Are you even American? Are you even from here?
Can you yell fire in a crowded movie theater?
Yo. Are you from America or no?
Can you yell?
Before I continue this conversation, are you even American?
Wait, do you think that there are no restrictions to amendments of the Constitution?
Baljeet, are you American?
Yeah, I am an American, born in America. So
bullshit. I don't buy it.
Do you think you can go to a crowded airport and yell that you have a bomb?
What do you mean? What type of argument is that?
So free speech is limited. Free speech is limited. You can't yell fire in a crowded movie theater.
No. That's not free speech because free speech
is limited. Speech is limited.
What's incitement? Is incitement in the First Amendment?
Some free speech absolutists would absolutely say
incitement in the First Amendment. Yes or no?
Baljeet. The point is,
Baljeet.
Is
incitement in the First Amendment?
You've been yelling this whole time.
You lost the argument.
You
can run.
I'm gonna give you a chance.
You can go sling shit in your home country, India, and go back to your dirty country if you don't want to vote for like real, respectful Christian Judeo values for this country.
So in this
Unlike
conversation,
some Indian, I know you want to vote for the Indian woman to get into office.
All right, I'm gonna meet you real quick. In this conversation, right? If you want to stick around, I don't like muting folks. But you have gone on this. Started massively
lost.
Aggro,
Shut up.
right?
You're fucking greasy, bro. Take a shower, you dirty bitch. You're disgusting looking.
All I can say is that the conservatives in the chat can love when a right winger yells at a non-Indian person that they're Indian, and that's the problem apparently. But you guys are not convincing people, and you people are one of the reasons Trump's losing. We couldn't even get into the policy conversation because the moment policy was brought up, you had to get immediately on some ad hominem shit. So I'm gonna let in another guest. I don't know which one of you guys came in first, but I'm gonna let somebody in. Hey, and I see some people saying to kick him in the chat. But look, I think it's okay to hear out those people, not because their ideas are good, but because it reveals a lot about their, their politics. That when they get upset, they have to say, someone says nobody said kick him. I have a YouTube chat too, buddy. I'm talking about those people. When you get upset, you have to go into calling someone like a Baljeet. it says a lot about you guys. But let's go ahead and put in Janet here.
No. He's gonna because like.
What's up, buddy?
All right, so tell me, so basically, Kamala, you know, she let all these illegals come into the country. They're killing little children and they're killing girls.
I'm curious. Do illegal immigrants commit more crime than natural-born citizens?
No.
Yeah. So why aren't we calling for like the deportation of like natural-born citizens, right? If illegal immigrants are
So
coming
why
here to work,
why
like,
we
have you ever
deport
met any illegal
people that are
immigrant?
supposed to be here?
Have you ever met any illegal immigrant?
I see them all on the street.
Yes, we have.
I see them on my.
Yes, we've actually. I've personally met an illegal immigrant that came from the Middle East. Yes.
Cool. And I'm sure that you've met all those illegal immigrants that haven't murdered somebody, that are simply working and so on.
No,
and so
and the
forth.
thing is,
Wait, real quick. You mentioned that Kamala Harris let them in. I'm curious how she let them in. She made the decision, let them in?
Well, I think it's her lack of decision is what let them in. I think Kamala could have so I'm not against immigrants. I think we went off on the wrong tone. So actually, I think especially the people that I've met that have came in illegally, they came in with false hope, it was very sad for them. They came thinking that this was the land of the free and all this and that they could do what they want. But I think because of their status, they cannot work. And then they have to take small payments in cash and pretty much their dreams were crushed.
So we should be making the process faster, right?
We should make the process faster. Well, the thing is that faster does not necessarily mean better. I think
we should make it more efficient. We should give the resources to be able to check the backgrounds and do that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Instead of mass deporting these people, right? You're against the mass deportations?
I feel like mass deportation. I feel like mass deportation is like one of the only things we can do. That's the only one of the things we can do.
Much of these current illegal immigrants have been living in this country for like a decade, right? They've been trying to go through the process, but have been considered illegal. And as you know, the process is very slow, right? So those people just get deported, even if they committed no crime, even if they just been working, and they've been benefiting the economy.
Benefiting the economy how? Is there any numbers that support that they've been benefiting the economy?
Yeah, I mean, every single time they buy something, there's a sales tax. Most people, when they get paid something, there's a tax from the paycheck, right? If they're working in certain industries,
okay. So
if they're working in certain industries, wait. There's more things. There's also things like, in general, when you're working in industries like agriculture, if you're working in industries like construction, you're obviously benefiting the economy because you're making sure that these American industries can run.
Are you implying that illegal immigrants only work in agriculture and construction? No, that's kind of racist. No, that's racist.
But they make up a good percentage of those industries. And when I say
what percentage?
I don't know I don't know it off the top of my head, right?
That's racist then, because you're just making a generalization. That's racist. So, unless you have a number, you can't tell me that.
So, do you want me to just search the percentage of illegal immigrants working in agriculture?
Sure, yeah.
I don't think that has much relevance to the conversation, but I'll do that.
Don't make generalizations. No, I think I'm just trying to come across with the person that we just don't make generalizations in this conversation.
Well, I don't think it's really a generalization. I'm saying that if you deport 11 million people, especially
30 million.
That's not true. If you deport 11 million people, especially if they work in certain industries, then you're going to collapse the industry. Here, 40% of the workers in agriculture are undocumented immigrants, right? So if you get rid of 40% of workers in any... Let's see here. Hold on. 1 second. I'm just clicking through it. That's the Baker Institute.
Okay.
So I mean, 40% of the agriculture industry is illegal immigrants. It was Reason Magazine. This is a right-wing publication that was reporting on the massive labor shortages that would occur if we were to deport 11 million people. Again, in key industries like agriculture, which is how we're fed, and construction, which is how this country gets built, especially if we're talking, you mentioned the tariffs. If Donald Trump wants to do the tariffs, the idea is that it's going to increase demand. That's going to increase the need for goods to be produced here, which I don't have a problem with. We'll get into manufacturing soon. But we're going to need more workers to meet that demand. And then we're not going to meet that demand already, even without the mass deportations.
I have no issue. I have no issue with workers, but they have to be vetted. I mean, the people that are coming in.
So we instead, the Reason Magazine article, again, right-wing publication, they also emphasize, because they're libertarians and they like small government, that mass deportations would cost a massive amount of money. So if we are going to spend money on the issue of immigration, we should be spending and investing in making the process more efficient, making the process faster, and which, by the way, I would also like to emphasize that if we have a slow and inefficient process, that would lead to more people being motivated to come here illegally.
Well, why has the government been spending money to send immigrants to states like Florida in the South? If the issue is cost, if it's cost prohibitive, why are they
the government has been spending money to get immigrants into states like Florida
on planes? Yes, that is correct. 200,000.
I'm not aware of a government program to do illegal immigration. I believe you that there are illegal immigrants that come here through planes.
You're not aware, and that's
wait. No, wait, hold on. I mean, tell me the policy. Tell me the policy that wait. Tell me the policy. Tell me the policy that she did. That was the send immigrants to Florida.
It was an under the table.
So there was no legislation. There was no bill signed.
Wait,
you're just saying. You're just saying. Wait.
Legislation. You walnut. Why would it be legislation if she's
okay? So now you're just copying the last guy. I mean, you're just saying.
It was funny.
You're just saying. You're just saying. Let's have an actual conversation. Unlike the last guy, you're saying that
it's a monologue. It's not a conversation. You're not letting me talk.
Wait,
you're not letting me talk.
But no, you made a claim here. You made a claim that there was an effort to send illegal immigrants to Florida by plane by the federal government, but you can't name me a bill. You can't name me a piece of legislation. You can't name me an executive action, I assume, too, since we can talk about executive orders as well. You can't name me that. You're just saying 200,000 illegal immigrants were sent to Florida. Now, we do have a lot of immigration to Florida. I mean, we let Cubans in. We let Cuban in very.
Announces that nearly 11,000 foreigners repatriated after attempting to enter Florida illegally during Biden's border crossing. And then we also have one.
Yeah, wait. I'm not denying that there was illegal immigration to Florida, right? I'm not denying that there was illegal immigration to Florida.
Sunshine State. This is.
I'm not denying immigration into Florida, but your claim was 200,000.
Where did they get the money to
200,000 were sent over from due to the federal government's decisions to Florida. Okay, I think it's important to note this, and I think you'd be happy to know this, that border crossings have gone down each month of the year of 2024, right? This whole year, border crossings have gone down. That's a good thing, right?
Only in the months leading to the election, because
no. I mean, this whole year. Right?
The year leading up to the election, because that's when it matters. Because they just want to get elected, but they don't really care. And I want to ask you.
But so I mean, wait. You can wait.
Wait for what?
So you're just saying, yeah, they're just doing it for the election. It's not, if we want to talk about immigration policy being decided by sort of electoral strategy, do you recognize that when there was a bipartisan conservative bill on immigration, that Donald Trump called the Republican senators, and said to take it down?
Show proof.
Sure. I mean, it's been reported on a lot, but Trump shuts down Republican or bipartisan.
That was a lie bipartisan that in the debate, and this is another lie that you repeated.
Well, you can't just call a thing as a lie because you don't like it.
Because it's not true. Yeah, that's what a lie is.
So he didn't call these Republicans and say,
show me the call. Show me the phone call. Where's the phone call? Where's the record of this?
That's what Mitch McConnell said, a Republican.
Mitch McConnell's pissed at Trump because of their history, so that's not a valid source.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but that's a Republican. That's a leader of the Republican Party, right? You're saying.
Show me the call.
And Mitch McConnell has supported Donald Trump in the past.
Why isn't we have?
Because not every phone call is recorded.
So then, how do we trust that source then?
I mean, the Republicans did vote against the conservative Republican bill that would lower immigration, right?
So while you're searching for the phone call that doesn't exist, I want you to answer for me this question.
Okay, you're not wait, you're not engaging. There was a bill that would limit immigration, right? That was written by Republicans. That was also supported by the Democratic administration. And what were the reasons it didn't pass?
No, I'm asking.
Do you know the reasons why it didn't pass? Because there's been extensive reports. Yeah, go ahead.
What I believe, and of course I don't know every bill. I haven't read every bill. I'm not a legislator, but a lot of the times the reason that these bills don't pass is because they're not giving enough government aid to something. Usually, a lot of these bills, the fine print says we have to dedicate this amount of money to a certain country, whether it be Ukraine, Israel, whatever. So
there was also a vote that separated it. There was also a vote that separated the bill from the foreign aid, but then it was still denied.
I'm still waiting for the phone call. By the way, I'm still waiting for you to.
I already told you that. Nobody recorded Donald Trump's phone call.
So you're telling me there's no evidence for the argument you've been arguing for the past 5 minutes?
I mean, Donald Trump has spoken out publicly against the bill. Too.
Against the bill? Why? Why would he speak against the bill?
You can ask him.
No, I'm asking you because you're the one who's debating against him. I'm asking you, why did he?
I've never personally debated Donald Trump.
For that?
Donald Trump never.
G is quiet.
Donald Trump did not speak out against this bill. I've spoken to his supporters that are also against this bill. Are you for the bill? I'm curious what your opinion is on the bill.
Well, I haven't read the bill word for word. I mean, I have to read it for myself before
would
I can
you
make a decision.
In general, do you think you would support a bill written by a Republican to limit immigration?
No. Actually, I do not generalize any bill. I would consider myself in the middle. Like, I don't know what you think about me, but I consider myself in the middle. What do you think?
Okay, I don't really consider you that, but that's fine. Here's a Republican pointing out the border deal is not solved because Donald Trump killed the bill. This is Representative Dan Crenshaw, who's also a big Trump guy. I think the border is a very Mitt Romney, Dan Crenshaw, James Lankford.
Okay, and where are you reading this from? What source?
These are directly from these conservatives speaking to the media.
So it's like what media?
All kinds. Fox Business. This is C-SPAN. This is
C-SPAN. Okay. What else?
Wait. Do you have a problem with C-SPAN now?
I think a lot of these medias are Jewish owned.
Okay, well that's enough of you. Of all the things to have beef with, C-SPAN? C-SPAN literally just shows what's going on in Congress most of the time. If you got a problem with just seeing Congress people get interviewed, it says more about you. And then when you bring in the Jews, well, you kind of drop the ball a bit. He literally went from saying, I don't consider myself a conservative. I think I'm a moderate. But then C-SPAN? That's your problem? Divinity Incarnate, I understand that Reese is spamming, but I think it's good that he's spamming. I don't mind it at all. It's good for engagement. All right, HM Kyrie is in waiting in here. Let's let them in. What's up? What's on your mind?
All right, man. I'm gonna keep it civil. I'm not gonna try to call you names or anything. I think that was a little stupid because you're just debating normally, right?
Yeah.
I'd say we just keep it well civil, keep it calm.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing I want to go over is when you're talking about in the first conversation with Janet, the illegal immigrant situation.
Yeah.
And if you pull up the facts, in 2021 up to 2024, 7% of the population is illegal immigrants. Compared to that, they've committed 64% of the federal crimes. And the Department of Justice keeps that updated regularly.
I don't know where those numbers are from. I'd be curious, right? But my understanding is that illegal immigrants commit crimes at a significantly lower rate than native-born citizens. In general, if the goal is to limit illegal immigration, I understand that, and that's why Kamala Harris is supporting a Republican bill to do so, right? And it's not even my preferred method on immigration, but that's what Kamala Harris is supporting. And important to note that immigration is down this year, so.
But you also have to realize, too, there's 300 million Americans and then 10 million illegal immigrants. So how are you going to completely do every low-level misdemeanor, low-level felony compared to 64% of federal arrests made? Federal is a different story when it comes to stuff.
I mean, part of that federal arrest might literally be arrest at the border, so.
Yeah, so if you're saying they don't commit crimes, then how is illegally crossing a border without any proper or proof of identification not
Well,
illegal or
I'm
a crime?
mainly talking about real crimes, right? But
That's a real
we can
crime,
have
though. You're
we can
invading a
have a sort of subjective view on is it moral or not to enter a country. But you got to understand also that when we have a completely inefficient immigration system, it simply just encourages people to cross illegally. If you're looking for work, you're going to want to get work no matter what. I think we can come to a compromise that if we can make less illegal immigration, that would be a wonderful thing. So we should make the process more efficient, disincentivize illegal border crossings, and that 11 million number of people, I mean, we got to make the system efficient so that they also can go through the process. A lot of illegal immigrants living in America, if you met them, are literally going through the immigration process. They're not just, but this process can take decades, right? And again, if you want tough on the border policies, Kamala's supporting that.
But see, the thing is it doesn't take decades. It really doesn't.
It does for some people.
I know it doesn't. I know plenty of people that have immigrated to this country and legally obtained citizenship and green cards in a couple years to a few years, not decades. It does not take that long. It's called properly doing it and properly doing the test.
So you think your claim right now is that the immigration process is efficient? You know, to immigrate to the United States, doesn't take that long. It's easy.
I'm not saying it takes 6 months, and I'm not saying it takes multiple decades on end. That's just blatantly just incorrect.
Well, it does say here regular processing. The I-140 immigration petition for alien worker takes 6.9 months.
So you just proved yourself wrong by looking at that fact.
Of course, when the system's blocked, it could take longer. There's variety for each people, right? But maybe we could probably make a more efficient system so we don't encourage illegal immigration, right? Because if let's say you're thinking about a person that immigrated here legally, they haven't committed any crimes, period. Besides, I mean, in your view, it's morally wrong for them to cross a man-made line, right? But if they're just working and they're going through the process, but it's taking them long, like you brought up some anecdotes. I mean, there are anecdotes of people waiting for decades. We can agree, though, that if we are to invest in something, like the right-wing publication Reason stated, that instead of investing into mass deportations, which would cause labor shortages, we should invest in making these people, especially working people, citizens.
But see, the thing that doesn't make sense is you rather put over someone that's from a different country's labor and financial gain over American people that are
No, absolutely not. I mean, there's just fields that a lot of immigrants are willing to work in that a lot of Americans aren't willing to work in. We wouldn't be discussing we wouldn't really be discussing the potential of a labor shortage if we could just say deport every immigrant and then all the positions missing, all the positions needed for supply to meet demand would just be filled. No, and then under Trump, he wants to make a situation.
It would be filled though, because Trump had gotten the unemployment rate to an all-time low when he was in office. And he has factually stated.
I mean,
and
he personally got it. I mean, the unemployment. We had unbroken months of job growth under, like 70 months of unbroken growth under Barack Obama, and then it continued under the Trump administration. A lot of the economic trends that you guys brag about from the Trump perspective simply started during the Obama administration after he recovered the economy from the recession that was started under Republican.
Okay, but he still caused the recession in 2007 and
Whoa.
2008. Couldn't it buy a home?
Wait. Obama started a recession?
I mean, he did, bankrupt multiple families, destroy the housing and real estate market.
Really?
And also destroyed the Wall Street market.
Obama started the recession in 2008.
He definitely contributed to it.
Can you tell me the date that the recession started? Because that's a pretty bold claim that Obama started it.
I just said that he definitely contributed to it. There's a difference between that.
So the financial crisis. Wait. We can't move away from this. The financial crisis started in 2007. Obama was elected in 2008. He was inaugurated in 2009. I'm curious how he
contributed.
How did he contribute it?
What are you talking about? He donated tons of money to different organizations throughout the world. Look at how much money he donated to actually the Taliban.
I mean,
got
foreign
that.
aid is
How is it foreign
tiny.
aid when you donated money? How is it foreign aid when you gave money to a terroristic group?
What terrorist group? What terrorist group did he fund?
Do you know how the Taliban was funded and created? Because Barack Obama gave money to the rebels in Afghanistan and Iraq and Iran.
Really?
And therefore, yeah,
the rebels in Iran. There was a civil war in Iran or something.
Did you not follow the war at all between the three countries of Iran, Iraq, and Afghanistan at all? Did you or did you not?
There was a war in the 2000s between Iran, Iraq, and Afghanistan. Is that what your claim is?
You're jumbling up my words. The war when America had to go after the terrorist attacks. And did you notice that I said?
So let's go ahead and when was the Taliban started? Since you said Obama started it.
I didn't say Obama started it. I said Obama donated.
You did.
I said it started from the donation of
that
funds
Obama made.
Obama. So that doesn't mean that
started,
I said Obama started it.
It started from the donation that Obama made. What year did it start? What year were those donations made? I want to know.
Well, you've been looking up stuff the whole time. Look it up.
So you don't know
the exact year?
No, I mean, I want just like a timeline, like a basic timeline. I know the information, but you're just making some pretty bold claims, okay?
That's not a bold claim. You're talking about
what donation did
foreign funding.
What donation did Obama make that led to the creation of the Taliban?
In 2014, before Obama came out of office, Obama made a deal with Afghanistan, and it had a crucial role in the war on terror because he gave money and weaponry.
What is this deal with Afghanistan?
To the Taliban.
Wait. What is this deal with the Afghanistan? What is this deal with Afghanistan? Are you talking about the Iran deal? Because that was a big deal during the end of the Obama administration.
No, I'm talking about the Taliban. The Taliban.
What's the deal? Give me the deal name. Give me the deal name.
When he visited Kabul to address American soldiers that were getting killed.
Killed by who?
Oh my gosh. Do you not believe in terroristic organizations? Do you? No.
Okay, here, let me. Okay, you've been saying a bunch of silly shit, so let me just correct you here. You said Obama made a donation that started the Taliban. This Taliban was started in 1994. We declared war on the Taliban. We declared war on the Taliban under Bush. We got rid of the government.
We declared war on Al Qaeda, actually. So you need to get your facts straight too, because Al Qaeda is the one that did the hits on the towers in 2001.
Really?
Because guess who was the leader of Al Qaeda? Osama bin Laden.
So who ran Afghanistan in 2001?
Al Qaeda did.
No.
That's what you're not. I never said.
No, the Taliban did, bro. The Taliban did. You don't understand. You said Obama started the Taliban because he made a donation. The Taliban was started in 1994. It was a militia until 1996, and in 1996 it formed the first government. And then when we invaded in 2001, we took down the government. They were insurgency for many years, and now they're the government in charge now, right? But your claim that Obama started the Taliban, Obama contributed to the Taliban, what, when he was a state senator in the state of Illinois? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
No, when he was
it's showing a fundamental misunderstanding of the situation in Afghanistan, which makes the whole point you were trying to make. Did you not pay attention to the wars in the Middle East? Really funny. And then for you to claim that Obama contributed to the recession when he, again, was not president until 2009, when it started in 2007 and peaked in 2008, went down, was dealt with during his administration, and he started the job growth. He started the recovery. He saved the auto industry, right? And there's things I disagree with Obama on, for sure, right? But for you to claim that he contributed to the recession, he contributed to the Taliban, you're being kind of partisan, but like you're also not very informed on these issues. Respectfully.
No, because you realize we had to re-go back in 2011 and send a mass group of soldiers to help with that situation, right? There wasn't just one start of the war.
We put in more soldiers in
out.
we put in more soldiers into Afghanistan under Obama. That's true, right? I don't understand what the argument is there. How he then funded the Taliban by putting more soldiers to fight the Taliban.
I've stated multiple ways of how he funded the Taliban, and people also in your chat are explaining facts on how he did.
Okay. Let's go ahead and read. I guess since you want to bring up the chat, sure. He caused more damage than he helped. That's not really an argument. Osama did. Osama did what? You know, that's not really an argument either. Bro, he didn't start. He contributed it. Again, how did he contribute it? By putting more troops. He put more troops into Afghanistan and fought more of the Taliban. So it's kind of the opposite.
How about you read 10.9 million in U.S. taxpayers' dollars went to the funding of the rebels that became the Taliban.
Where was that sent? Where was that sent? I'm looking in the chat. You said somebody sent it in the chat.
It's in the chat. Don't try to act like it's not. Because
Nora, okay, I found it. At least 10.9 million in U.S. taxpayer dollars went to the Taliban. I'm assuming, if I'm going to put it together with your claim, Obama sent $10 million to the Taliban during his presidency when we were at war with the Taliban, when you're also claiming he sent in more troops, the troops that were fighting the Taliban. You know, if you want to blame a U.S. president for funding terrorism in Afghanistan, you could blame Reagan for funding the Mujahideen, which did include people like Osama bin Laden, who would become the leaders of Al Qaeda. Right? You can. That's a fact, right? We can agree with that, right?
Okay. How does that contribute to what I brought up, though?
I mean, you want to blame a president for contributing to terrorist groups in the Middle East, and you're claiming Obama, who sent in soldiers to fight the Taliban, who continued the war in Afghanistan, somehow also funded the Taliban, in which his government was fighting. There is a case of money being sent to Afghanistan to fund a terrorist group, which would eventually bite us in the ass because Osama bin Laden was part of that terrorist group when Reagan funded the Mujahideen to fight the Soviet Union in Afghanistan. And eventually that Mujahideen, much of those Mujahideen, became Al Qaeda, and it bit us in the ass.
Okay, if we want to talk about that, then why did the Biden administration hide the deaths or try to act like the deaths of high-power terrorist group leaders? They died, but they didn't. And soldiers had to find that out, and the country had to find that out, which it seems kind of contributes.
It seems like a pretty...
Right?
No. It seems
like
a pretty...
Hamza bin Laden is? Do you know who Hamza bin Laden is?
I'm sure that many terrorists were killed during the Biden and Trump years. I don't know every terrorist off the top of my head. I'm assuming related to Osama bin Laden, right?
Hamza bin Laden married one leader of a Taliban group and a lower level terrorist group. He married both of their daughters, but he was told to be killed. The government lied.
Okay.
The Biden administration lied and said he was dead. Therefore, they're expanding the terroristic groups. Your president lied.
Again, you're just telling me that some terrorists got married, and somehow that is the United States government supporting the Taliban. Again, you made the claim that Obama funded the Taliban with a donation that he made when Obama's government was continuing to support our government in Afghanistan and fighting the Taliban. It's a little bizarre. It's kind of a mixed message. It's funny. It's funny for sure, but yeah. I appreciate you not being as silly as some of the other guys, but I think we should move on because there's some people waiting. Right?
No one's waiting. Everybody's been agreeing with me and wanting me to stay in.
I mean, I can keep you in I can keep you in a little bit. I mean, there are 2 guest requests. I see it on the back end, but I mean, we can continue.
Yeah, keep me in and bring up your topic.
How did Obama contribute to the recession?
He opened free healthcare for people that were homeless and jobless, and
do we have free healthcare in the United States?
Do you know what Obamacare was? It was a free healthcare organization created for people that were underpoverished and couldn't fully afford health insurance.
So you're telling me that Obamacare is free health care for poor people?
Yeah, that's what I said. You just repeated what I said.
And
that's, yeah.
Number one, that isn't really what Obamacare is, but I'm curious what exactly principally would be wrong with giving healthcare to poor people.
I never said there was anything wrong with it. I said that taking taxpayers' dollars to fund his little organization of healthcare and no one has to pay for it will cause a crash in the market.
So Obamacare caused a crash in the market, is your claim?
It definitely impacted it. Obamacare was a failure of the American economy that Obama created.
So the recession again was in 2007, 2008. Obama came in 2009. Obamacare was passed 2010. We had already moved on from.
Started it though. I said he contributed to it. You can. So you're saying.
We had already.
And then someone came in and did the same thing. That's not contributing. They didn't do anything at all because
recovery already began in 2010.
So he still had a year of a failing economy. That's contributing.
No.
If it was 2 months or 20 years, he's still contributing to the cause.
In 2010, the recession was over. Obamacare was passed in 2010. It did not cause economic collapse. I'm curious. What was
economy collapse?
Well, you did say it would cause economic collapse, but okay, let's look at something. Let's look at a number, right? Like how about we look at the job numbers, right? Unemployment. It spiked from a low about.
COVID. Are you gonna say it spiked in COVID?
No. We're focusing on the recession. COVID was a decade later.
Yeah, I know COVID was
over a decade later.
You've been bouncing around and jumbling my words the whole time, so how am I going to know what you're talking about?
You've just been kind of respectful. You don't know what you're talking about. But going back to the recession,
you're stuttering the whole entire time, so I can't understand.
Going back to the recession, we saw a massive spike of unemployment in 2007, 2008. It peaked in October 2009. Obama was president by this point. He had just become president. And then from that point on, it decreased.
No, he didn't just become president. He was president for what? From January all the way up until October. That's 7 months or almost 7 months of presidency. How? That's not just getting into presidency. That's almost a year.
So do you think that it's significant that then Obama had 70 months of unbroken job creation directly after that? And do you think? Wait. Do you think that when a president gets in during the recession, it did not end, that they just have the magical ability to just suddenly turn things around right away? Or do you think it might take a few months at least to start seeing the trends change?
7 to 8 months is longer than a few. A few is 3. So
again, politics is a very long game. If you think 7 months is a lot of time in terms of politics, you're kind of mistaken.
Well, if you look.
So, do you recognize though?
That's almost a fourth of a term. So that is a decent amount of time when you're running in a presidency.
And let's say you pass a bill. Let's say you pass stimulus. You recognize that even after the bill is passed, the economic effects take time to show in the data.
1000%. But if you keep adding on to it, there's a difference between that.
So again, Obama lowered unemployment from 2009 to 2010 to 2011 to 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, right? Unemployment was going down. There was economic recovery. Again, Obamacare passed in 2010. That did not stop unemployment from going down. The GDP was going up, right? So no, I can criticize Obama. I don't like Obama for a lot of things. I think you might like him for this. He deported a ton of people. I don't really like that.
Why don't you like that?
But Not a fan of deportations, just generally, but
Well, why? Okay,
but you
why
can
aren't you a
recognize
fan?
the. But my
Let's go
point
on
is
to that
this.
topic.
My point is this.
Let's
My
go
point
on.
is this. Wait. No. We're gonna stick with Obama for a second. I'm just making a point that I can criticize aspects of the Obama administration, but I'm not gonna make up things like saying that he contributed to the recession, that he recovered.
It's not
I'm not gonna make. I'm not gonna make up things that Obama contributed to the creation of the Taliban when the Taliban was started in the 90s. Okay. So again, there's two people in the line. So I kind of want to move on to some of them. Right.
But you're gonna debate one topic the whole entire night. Like that doesn't make any sense. You have to bounce between topics. That's what a debate is. If you want someone to change your mind,
we bounced through a few things. We started in immigration. You made a claim that Obama started the recession, and then you said no, he contributed to the recession. You made a claim that he started the Taliban, but then you said no, he contributed to the Taliban, not really explaining how, considering his government was fighting the Taliban. I think you just honestly displayed that you don't really know the issues too well. And I'm not saying this to you to bully you or be rude to you. It's just true. You're saying just complete falsehoods, and you think it's true. It's not true. Obama did not start the recession. He was not president.
It's literally true though. Our government has always lied about war zones. What about when Kamala said that none of our soldiers are in a current combat zone deployed?
Again, I never heard that quote. I never heard that quote. If that quote was said, then it's not true. I can imagine it's a misspeak. She may be saying we don't have any active wars going on, which America is not involved in any active wars. You know,
we're not involved, but there's active wars.
But we've always had soldiers across our many military bases, even if it's not even a war zone, but you know, technically.
She said
the North and South Korea.
In interviews
the North
and the debate.
Again,
I
don't know that quote, but we have soldiers in places like Korea.
That's the thing.
We aren't in a hot war. I'm not denying anything. We're not in a hot war, right? Where Iraq war is done, the war in Afghanistan is done, right?
Which was the most idiotic thing we ever did was pull out of Afghanistan.
Which Donald Trump promised he would do.
Yeah, later on when stuff was settled and deals were made, not just leave all of our equipment.
Deals?
Passport offices.
No. He wanted to do it. He wanted to do it as soon as possible.
Into our country.
Ultimately, though, the thing is, any pullout of Afghanistan would have been messy. We were there for 20 years, and the paper government that we had propped up for all those years immediately collapsed the moment that we left. You might not like how the Afghanistan war pullout occurred, which is fine. You can have criticisms of the nitty-gritty, but at the end of the day, a war was promised to be finished, and the war in Afghanistan is done. So the point I brought up Afghanistan was, right? Wait. The war again. I mean, we can 40 more years, and it would have worked out. I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's your logic, but that's not Donald Trump's perspective.
You guys just had 4 years.
Trump had promised to pull out. Obama had promised to pull out. Neither did. Biden promised to pull out. And he did, and I think the agreement was to leave in 2000. The agreement that Donald Trump had set up was for us to leave in 2021. We could talk about the hypothetical ways that the pullout could have been done better, but at the end of the day, the war is done. So it is true that there are no American soldiers in any of America's wars. We have soldiers deployed across the world. Technically, you could even say that the soldiers that are deployed into South Korea are in an active war zone, are in a war zone because South Korea and North Korea never officially declared war. They are technically been like some sort of ceasefire for the last few decades. But at the end of the day, yes, America's direct wars, Iraq and Afghanistan, is which those are the wars we started in the Middle East in the 2000s under Republicans. Those wars are done.
The terrorists that
in general, going back to foreign policy. I do want to move on, but I just gotta say it is amazing that you think Obama started Taliban. That's very funny, or contributed.
Or our tax-paying dollars are funding a dirty, corrupt country of Ukraine. That's pretty much the same as Russia. They just don't want to be taken over because they want to stay in power and stay corrupt in their own way. But
did Ukraine start an invasion of Russia?
No, but that doesn't mean we need to help them. They were in NATO. They actually chose not to be put into NATO.
I think we both understand. We both understand that isolationism is a failed idea, right? Like we're the United States of America. There's no America just gets to isolate itself and not participate in the world of foreign policy.
I never said that.
Right?
Ukraine was actually offered a deal to join NATO, and they declined it and wanted to stay independent. But as soon as something starts happening, then they want all of us to come to their aid.
Oh well, we had been sending them aid. under Biden, under Trump, under Obama.
We didn't send them aid before the war because they didn't want it. They declined
So,
a NATO deal.
Again, you're making an interesting claim again. And I think it really emphasizes your lack of information when it comes to foreign policy. You don't think any aid was sent before the war in 2022?
There's a difference between war aid and normal aid. We were talking about the war. We're not talking about other stuff.
What's the difference between sending military aid before a war and then after a war begins? Obviously, the big difference is we're sending more.
We're not taking care of our own country because they're at war. We just sent $8 billion to them when we just had a natural disaster hurricane that destroyed multiple parts of Florida.
So you'd be down for more funding to FEMA, right?
Yeah.
Does Donald Trump have a bill to give more money to FEMA? Because I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think it'd be great. I think it would be great to send more. I think it would be great to send more money to FEMA. I'm curious if we look at FEMA funding by year. If we look at FEMA funding, the disaster relief fund, they have a graph here that's easy to read. No, they have documents. All right, maybe Images got something simple for us. I mean, looking at this graph, FEMA funding has been going up. Ooh, this is an interesting one here. Let's see.
But wouldn't that $8 billion wouldn't have $8 billion been way nicer for FEMA to get instead of a country that is as corrupt as Russia is? It has.
I mean, you have a. I'm sure you get your source on the your perspective on Russia from Russian sources. But we actually do multiple things at once, and we can invest in FEMA, and we can invest in a country being defended. It's not like a either or, right? I mean, if you're against intense increases to the military budget, I mean, Donald Trump cut revenues by doing tax cuts for the rich, and then he increased military spending. Donald Trump did aid to Ukraine. So I don't see you really criticizing that and our military expenditures and so on and so forth. Right? But I have the perspective that we can do multiple things at once.
But why are we've sent billions upon billions of dollars to Ukraine, and somehow we haven't gotten, the only thing we got in return is fields of their crops.
I mean, I don't think every foreign policy decision should be done based on what can I get out of this? How can I profit off of this? That's a pretty messed up way of looking at things. Ultimately, though, a country is being attacked, and I think we should not have a precedent where larger countries can just invade smaller countries for land grabs, and that's considered okay. And if we have the position, there's a lot of countries that aren't part of NATO that we could consider our allies. We send aid and equipment to Vietnam. They're not part of NATO.
Ukraine denied the NATO contract. Aid. They denied our help.
Well, you recognize that there might be pressure in Ukraine from a country that's been kind of looming them for years to not join NATO, right? Maybe they made a mistake by not joining NATO, but at the end of the day, if you have a gun pointed to your head saying don't join NATO or I'm going to shoot you, then you might not join NATO. But turns out the person that was threatening is unstable and they shoot you anyway, right? But let's say they miss. You should have an opportunity to fight back and defend yourself. And that's what we're doing here.
Okay, what about the Palestine situation then? If we want to talk about that, because
Israel's pretty lame.
Wait, hold on. Before Hamas, popped off and started a war with Israel and Iran got involved. Are we going to talk about how Joe Biden actually supported Israel, the ones that were supposedly killing children and you
might be shocked here, but I don't support Biden's policy on Israel.
But why are they able to switch up and it's okay? But then if Donald
Trump's being a hypocrite. Joe Biden's being a hypocrite. I mean, you look at Israel and Palestine. I think the dynamics, if you compare it to Russia and Ukraine, is the Palestinians are the Ukrainians and the Israelis are the Russians.
You know what's really funny though? Kamala was actually over the Israel and Ukrainian wars too. She was over both wars. So it wasn't even Joe.
Both wars.
I caught you because as vice president, she's over the wars.
So does vice president the position does the position of vice president, do they have foreign policy decision making power? Is that like part of their position or something? That's pretty bold.
He was over it, and
what
yeah,
does being over it mean? I'm over it. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? She doesn't have foreign policy decision making power. That's not how the vice presidency works.
Decision making, but she influences it. She basically
so what? She plays an advisor role
that run foreign policy. What to do?
Do you understand that there are many voices in the administration that could be influencing the administration's decisions on Israel, right? Again, I disagree with the administration's position on Israel. You know who else disagrees? Donald Trump disagrees, but he disagrees in the opposite direction. I mean, we know from his first administration that he let Sheldon Adelson write his Israel foreign policy. Now Mariam Sheldonson donated $100 million to his campaign, and she expects, or her demand essentially, or what she wants to see, is the West Bank become part of Israel, get invaded, get taken over by Israel. What we're essentially seeing from Kamala on the issue is talks of removing some of the war hawks in the administration. Now, is Kamala amazing on the issue of Israel and Palestine? Does she have my position? No, because she likes to do the both sides things. But I'd rather have someone that does the both sides thing during a campaign trying not to piss everybody off, but then has the potential of changing course and removing some of the war hawks, the pro-Israel people from the administration, if she's in charge, rather than Donald Trump, who's saying that Biden's not hawkish enough and he's been holding Israel back, when I don't know in any way how Biden's been holding Israel back. But we know the conflict has been a thing, before October 7th of last year, right?
Okay, so who do you support, Israel or Palestine?
I generally support the anti-genocide position, and if you don't like the word genocide, the anti-mass killing position. I generally support the Palestinians.
So you had to state that you support anti-genocide because you can admit that they are committing genocide and they have a plan of genocide, right?
The Israelis are committing genocide against Palestine.
So then why can the Palestinians and Hamas say that we have to kill the Jews to reach eternal life? That's our goal. We have to kill all Jews and eradicate them from this world.
I don't like Hamas. I don't like Hamas, but you understand that Hamas is a right-wing, religious fundamentalist terrorist organization, right?
Oh my, that doesn't. Their right-wing isn't the same as ours, but...
No, I know, but my point is this. I mean, the Israeli government's in a pretty similar position, and the difference in the situation is Hamas can bark and bark and bark, but Israel can actually kill in a much more efficient way.
Hamas is allied with the Iran government.
Yeah.
And the Iran government attacked Israel and tried to start war. What are you talking about?
Sure. I mean, let's make a timeline. What's your kind of beginning of where are you beginning in this timeline?
I'm talking about not when Hamas was created. I'm talking about the recent start of the war between Israel and Palestine, or Israel and Hamas, because Israel isn't doing anything wrong.
So you're kind of only starting in 2023, right?
Yeah, relatively.
I'm curious. So why? So is the Israelis just justified in the tremendous amount of deaths and injuries that they were doing to the Palestinian people?
Israel also let hundreds of thousands of people cross their borders so they could have actual work. And
yeah, I mean, there are Arabs that live inside. There are Arabs that live inside Israel, but it's kind of silly to pretend that this is like some kind of even conflict.
There was multiple border crossings from Palestine over to Israel.
Yeah, I understand that there's immigration of Arabs into Israel. That doesn't really change the point that Gaza was an open-air prison and that there's still many, many, many illegal settlements in the West Bank. That doesn't really change the situation that, if you don't want to focus, we should probably look beyond 2023. I mean, if you look at the deaths and injuries
it was
of
mainly
Israel,
a- mainly it was a religious feud,
you
and
understand
the
that
Democrats don't care about religion, correct?
you understand that the conflict had existed for decades, right? It didn't just start in 2023.
Actually, centuries, because it's a religious problem.
Whatever you want to
No.
say, but
It's not whatever I
the
want to say.
disagreements
It's
or
it's a
the
religious
disputes
disagreement.
between the state of Israel was started in the 1940s. Like that's when the Israeli state was
not
started.
saying just the
I'm focusing specifically on the actions of the state of Israel
But if you look
and the
at
two
if you look
states
at the
of
religious
Palestine.
stuff, if you look at the religious stuff behind it, it has been a religious war
I'm curious.
for longer than the two countries
mean,
have been created.
Yeah, but there was also
you
times.
don't believe
There
it?
was
Do you not
also
believe in
times.
religion?
There was also
Do you
times
not
when
believe in
the
religion?
I believe religion exists.
So then, are we not going to talk about the fact that Kamala's party has completely pushed away religion about multiple times?
Well,
How someone was
let's
screaming
focus on
king
Israel and
and-
Palestine. Let's focus on Israel and Palestine.
Okay,
Right.
yeah, a religious war that has been
So
going
you're
on
just
for centuries.
so I mean you're just my understanding is you're just pro-Israel, based on our conversation. You love the
I
Israelis.
don't think it should be okay that people have a plan to annihilate all the Jews off this earth and it not be considered
So you don't.
genocide
I'm
or
assuming you don't like it
genocidal.
when thousands of Palestinians get killed by Israel, right? Thousands of Palestinians get displaced by Israel. Thousands of Palestinians get injured by Israel. You don't
Well,
like that, right?
What is it? How Hamas is
Like I mean,
posting up
if
in
we just
places
go
where civilians
year
will
by
get hurt?
year, if we just go year by year, like how old are you? I'm just curious.
Why do you have to know that?
I'm assuming you're a
I
young
can
guy.
vote. That's all
Okay.
you have to know. I can
Sure.
vote.
In
That's all you have
2000,
to know.
we can look in 2013, right? 157 Israelis were killed during the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Because again, every single year that Israel and Palestine have existed, there's been a conflict. It doesn't ever just stop. But in 2013, there was 157 Israelis killed. Or excuse me, I have to correct myself. 157 injured. That's horrible, though, right? Nobody should be injured, right?
No.
Okay. Well, in that same year, 4,000 Palestinians were injured. In 2014, it was 2,796, because this was a year of escalation in the conflict in 2014, and then it was 19,860, nearly 20,000 people for the Palestinians. In 2015, it was a massive disparity. Only 339 injuries for the Israeli side, 14,813 for the Palestinian side. 2016,
Hold on.
222.
Pause real quick. The people in the comments saying argue about Trump and Kamala. This is a Trump and Kamala situation. I don't understand why people typing in the chat saying.
Don't worry about the chat
Israel
too much. Don't worry about the
Palestine
chat too
war
much.
is-
Don't worry about him. You're talking to me. So again, if we look in more recent years, I mean, in 2018, or let's look at the Trump administration in 2016. Well, he came in 2017. 174 Israeli injuries, 8,526 for the Palestinians. In 2018 was a massive spike of 100, only 130 Israeli injuries, and then 31,558 Palestinian injuries. And these injuries are closer coming from bombings, shootings, and so on and so forth. 2019, 133 versus Palestinians, 15,628. In 2020, only 61 injuries on the Israeli side and 2,781 on
There's
the
also a
Palestinian
global
side.
epidemic. There's also a global epidemic.
And if you just look at the
Global
total deaths, because this graph was looking from 2008 to 2020, there was only 251 Israelis killed, which is horrible, right? And we can agree that's horrible. But if we agree that's horrible and we value life the same, there was 5,590 Palestinians killed in that time period. And of course, ever since the 2023 conflict started, there was it's a much larger number than even that consistent sort of stream of injuries and deaths that the Israelis were causing. My point, one of the big things to emphasize, though, with Israel, I think what we're going to potentially see is a continuation or a worsening of the Biden administration policy on Israel under Trump, which, I mean, maybe you don't mind, since Biden has just kind of been supporting Israel unabashedly. But we're going to potentially see a change of that under Kamala.
Said he supported. No. They
What?
stated they supported Palestine though after they said they supported Israel. So they're just bouncing and going in circles.
Trump. Wait, you're saying who? What statement is this? You talking who's making these statements?
Biden stated that he supported Israel, and then now all of a sudden he supports Palestine.
Yeah.
Same for
Okay.
Tim
I'm
Walz.
gonna just say real quick. We've been going on for 40 minutes. I wanted this to only go on for 10 minutes, but you've been entertaining. But we're gonna finish up real quick. Say what you want to say. Yeah, no problem. Say what you want to say.
I didn't realize it was that long. I got stuff to do too.
Yeah.
Thanks
Okay.
for debating.
Of course.
Have a good one.
You too. I think I've been seeing Ruslan in the wait list for a while, so I'll put him up for now. Let me just respond to chat before I pull somebody up. Nate, you've been in the line for a very long time. My name is Nate. I don't know it doesn't show me how long people have been waiting. I feel like I've seen Ruslan longer, so stick around and hopefully you get on. As the 4 people on the wait list right now, I'm gonna try to put you in. But let me just respond to some of the things in the chat real quick. On YouTube, chill guy, dumb and wrong, but chill. Yeah, very true. Why are we talking about others? Glass. Okay, I'll stop. Talk about Obama. There have been expanding the state since the 1940s because you can't talk rational. Yeah, sure. You're like, I think that people are kind of debating. Who was there? Why are they there? Why is people for Israel to genocide? How did the people get there? Pushed away. Religion. That would have been a fun thing to talk about. Okay. You know what? Here. Ruslan, I'll put you in. But Kali has been a consistent viewer of the stream, and he just says that he has one quick question, and then he's going to hand it up to you, okay? So I'm going to let Kali in, and then Ruslan. Hello. What's up?
So, okay, so I just have one question. So I voted the other day, officially.
Yeah. Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. And I voted out of Illinois, so I don't know if you would know the answer to this, but... and I'm pretty sure you've mentioned the early voting data, so you've been keeping track with that.
A little bit, not much, but yeah.
Yeah. So you know how they put it like as party registration, so they put a certain percentage for each. Like they don't tell you who they voted for, but this many vote, Democrats. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out like what they put me as because I'm 18, and when I registered to vote for the first time. Right, they didn't ask me anything about party affiliation when I'm pretty sure you're supposed to, or you have to pick a party when you're registering to vote in the primary.
Generally,
yeah, but with me, I just kind of like registered when I was getting my state ID. They're like, oh, we could just register you, so it wasn't really like I registered for a specific election. I was just registered.
Yeah,
so
I've heard of some states they like some states that make it easy to register, but they kind of automatically put you as a non-party affiliated, right? I don't know if Illinois, if that's the case.
Oh, okay. So you would think you think that I'm probably putting there as independent, or
yeah. If they never asked you which party you are, you can probably check your status on like a government website.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And do you have to like redo that every election? Because you've probably been voting longer than me. So like,
I haven't had to redo it. But again, I'm in Florida. Laws might be different, so I'm not too sure about Illinois. Okay. But I'm assuming that you're an NPA, which is independent. Yeah.
Independent. So when I look on there, I'm in the independent percentage.
Yeah. And you may want to register as a Democrat just in case you want to vote in any primary. I don't know if Illinois is a closed primary state. Or an open primary state. If it's an open primary state, you can be part of any party and vote in any primary. But if it's closed, then you got to be part of the Democrats.
But what do you mean? Like you're saying I have to pick a party if it's closed?
Yeah. Like Florida is a closed primary state, meaning that if I want to vote in a Democratic primary, let's say for governor, I have to be registered as a Democrat. If I'm registered as an independent or NPA, then I can't participate in it. It doesn't show up on my ballot. I don't know if Illinois has the same laws, though. It could be different, but I would just check that up if I were you.
Okay, yeah, and just to clarify, you're saying if you're an independent, you can't vote for a Democrat or a Republican? Is that what you're saying?
Depends on the state. In Florida, yes, that's the case.
So technically, all of the Republicans in the early voting data we see voted for Trump.
Well, it's the general election now. Hypothetically, even though I'm registered as a Democrat, I could vote for a Republican because we're in the general. It's only in the primaries when you're deciding which is the nominee gonna be that's when you might have to be part of a party to make that decision, right?
Oh, okay. So in the general,
yeah.
Okay, I see what you mean. Okay,
All
cool.
right.
Thank you.
Good question. Good question.
Yes, sir, bro. I'll leave it up to the next guy.
All right. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate you. Thank you for watching consistently.
Yeah, man. Have a good one.
You too. All right. We're going to let Ruslan in. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Person that I just let in, I accidentally let y'all in, but I'm trying to let Ruslan in, so I'm going to kick you out. Feel free to join again. I'll try to aim to put you in next. Actually, wait. I feel like I've seen you before. I think you might be saying some silly shit earlier, but I'm going to kick you out now. If you want to wait, feel free to do that. Going to put Ruslan in now. Hello. What's up?
Hey, yeah, I have a question, man. So I'm going to let you speak, and then I'm going to speak. I don't want you speaking over me, and I don't want to speak over you. So this is your life, or not your life. This is your live. I'll let you explain why you think that Kamala is the better choice.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'll get into Kamala's policy, but we'll just start with Trump's previous policies because he was already president and what he's promising. Trump made a lot of decent promises when he was running for president in 2016. He kept pretty much none of the decent ones. He railed against NAFTA and the TPP. You know what those are, right?
Yes, man. Yeah, keep going.
NAFTA and the TPP. He said he was going to get rid of it. He did not pass the TPP. I complimented him there. But then he did the USMCA, which had TPP provisions. It was very disappointing as someone that's a proponent of fair trade. He promised he would bring manufacturing back. Ultimately, there was negative 200,000 manufacturing jobs under his administration, plus 100,000 manufacturing jobs under Biden's. He promised for an infrastructure plan. He didn't do any infrastructure plan. There has been infrastructure investment under Biden. And when it comes to foreign policy, he was just kind of unstable. At times a hawk. At times he gets to play pretend like he's a dove. But overall, I mean, he increased drone strikes around 32%, among other heinous acts. Overall, it was just a failure of a presidency, in my opinion. Now, what he's promising to do is things like tariffs across the board. Not just tariffs that are specified for like a good or an industry, but just tariffs across the board. And that's economically silly, to say politely. He's promising mass deportations, which would cripple certain industries and cause a labor shortage. He has a tax plan that, when it's analyzed, would raise taxes on the 95% of Americans and cut taxes for only 5%, the top 5%. Much more so with the top 1%. So overall, it's a bad plan. He's also kind of floating around getting rid of income tax, which contradicts his plan, and that would be a whole nother disaster. With Kamala, ultimately, I think that there are many good things that she could continue from the Biden administration, from creating an environment that is fair to labor, National Labor Relations Board that has been doing a good job fighting union busting and has allowed for a situation where labor unions have been able to much better represent their workers. An FTC, which is much more populist and antitrust. I think that's a great thing. And again, manufacturing, job growth, infrastructure investment, historic public and private investments into manufacturing. I hope that would continue. I think Kamala would have at least a stable hand making sure that trend continues. And ultimately, some policies she's proposing. I like the idea, her plan for increasing housing supply to meet demand. I like that she wants to tax more wealthy folks, tax unrealized gains. I like, when it comes to her actions, the fact that she was a tie-breaking vote for a lot of those decent policies under Biden, the policies that led to manufacturing investments, the policies that led to caps on things like insulin. Overall, she's just a better candidate. I mean, we can jump in on any specifics that I listed there. I listed a lot, so we're probably not going to cover everything, but yeah.
Okay, first of all, she was in office with Biden for 4 years. Maybe she didn't have full authority, but she could have told Biden when he was messing up. So why did none of this happen when Biden was in office? Man, I can't buy a house right now. I'm 21. I'm working 60 to 70 hours a week. I'm working my ass off. I can't buy a house right now. Why is that? When my parents could buy houses. Right now, I'm barely affording to wipe my ass.
There was global inflation, right?
Global inflation. No, this is all Biden. This is what happens when you...
Okay, well, that's not true.
No. This is what happens when you print money and you send it to countries because you want to help them.
There was also a supply chain. There was also stimulus.
I didn't speak over you. Do not speak
over me. There was also...
This is my live.
This is my live. I will correct you when you are wrong, and you got to get used to that, or we can move on to Nate. Okay? I muted you, but you can unmute yourself now. You're gonna be corrected.
Okay, look, man. I told you, I was like, I want to speak my part, and then you can speak your part.
Listen, I mean, you could want that, but I don't like to let kind of untruths be said on my stream, and this is my stream. I'm letting you continue. I've seen conservative streamers on this platform kick people out for disagreeing with them. I'm not kicking you out for disagreeing with me. Okay?
I have a question for you. I have a question.
Yeah.
Man, this is not me being respectful at all. This is not me being disrespectful at all, whatever it is. Do you live alone, or do you live with like your roommate?
I live with family.
You live with your family. Okay. Yeah. Let's say you want to go buy a house. How easy is that going to be for you right now?
Not easy.
Not easy. Why is that?
Housing's expensive.
Housing's expensive. Okay. When Trump was in office, man, look, borders were the most secure it's ever been.
Yeah, not necessarily true.
No, that is necessary. That's the complete truth.
Cartel wasn't getting border crossings were pretty similar to Obama era.
Cartel wasn't getting in and out of our country.
There was still border crossings under Donald Trump. You're not denying that, right?
There was the most. No, obviously there is. You can't completely 100% stop that. There was the most. You know how the American economy was almost. I think it was #1 actually with Trump in office.
I mean, the American economy is doing very well when it comes to the macroeconomic picture. Of course, there's inflation and things are more expensive, but you deal with that.
The economy is doing well right now? No, it's not.
Yeah, relative to our competitors. I mean, what are you talking about? We have economic growth. Did you?
Man, I can't rest right now. I'm trying to buy a house and I can't rest right now.
I'm not saying that the economy is perfect, but I'm curious, what is Trump's plan to lower housing cost?
He did it one time. He'll do it again.
What, you're saying he lowered housing cost?
I didn't say he lowered housing costs.
You said he did it one time, he'll do it again.
Okay, when I mean by that is freaking bold, like everything. Everything was just right, man.
So you're saying he did deflation. There was deflation under Trump.
I didn't say anything about deflation or inflation. I said the economy was good. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So I think some of the things, though, is that the methods or the factors that you would consider for a good economy, I mean, those trends were started under Obama. That isn't me sending a bunch of love to Obama. That's just true.
Okay. So, and not just that. When Trump was in office, my friend, there was no new wars that started. Do you understand that?
So you think Donald Trump was like you think Donald Trump was like a dove in foreign policy or something?
Bro, he was literally allies. No, I want to say allies. He was good with pretty much every president from every country. Do you know that?
No, he wasn't.
Do you know that? Yeah, he was even freaking not allies, but they were on good terms with North Korea, like all that. Right now,
well, I think there's a difference between policy. I think there's a difference between policy and photo ops. Like a bunch of leaders took photo ops with him because he's president of the United States, right? But at the end of the day, it's not like he did anything to stop like North Korean nuclear development. He just met with Kim Jong-un for a photo op. I could take a photo with anybody. I could take a photo with a celebrity. That doesn't mean that celebrity is my personal friend,
you're gonna fly out of a country to take a picture with someone.
Yes, hypothetically speaking.
You have the time out of your life to go out and fly and take a picture with someone.
You know, you're acting like it was a hard thing for Trump or Kim Jong-un to take a picture with each other.
I'm not saying it was a hard thing,
they're both leaders of a country.
Waste his time. He could have
ultimately, Donald Trump. What was the drone strike increase under Donald Trump?
Okay, you tell me, what was it? Since you're
432%. He increased drone strikes 432%.
Okay, what was it with Biden?
He actually nearly ended the drone war.
Did he? But there's also like 2 new wars that's happening, man.
Yeah, well, luckily for me, Biden's not president of Russia. He didn't choose to invade Ukraine. I'm curious, you know, the biggest flaw in the Biden administration when it comes to this foreign policy, I would say, was our support for the mass unalivings. You know, this is TikTok, so we've got to use TikTok terms. The mass unalivings we've been seeing committed by the state of Israel against the Palestinian people. But even with that in mind, like I said in a previous live conversation with somebody else, Trump says Biden hasn't done enough with Israel and he wants to let Israel do more. I don't even really understand what his specific plan is.
No.
You don't think Trump said that Biden has been holding Israel back?
Hold on. He says as soon as he's in office, all the wars are gonna stop, and I completely believe him. Not just that. I have a question for you.
Wait. Let's stick with that. All the wars will just stop. Give me the
He's gonna end the
practical
wars.
steps for him to end wars of foreign countries.
Yeah. He can
Also,
end
I
wars.
see Nate sent a rose. Thank you for that. We've been at this for 9 minutes, so we're gonna try to narrow it down and end real soon so we can let Nate in, right?
Okay.
So again, I mean, Trump did say that Biden's holding Israel back and he wants to let them loose, right? That doesn't sound like ending the war to me.
No, Trump stated when he is in office, he's gonna end all wars, right? Like obviously,
I can say that I'm gonna end all wars. Am I gonna end the fucking war? No, you're not gonna believe me.
Okay,
So why the fuck would you
Kamala can
believe
say
Donald
all
Trump?
this too. Kamala's saying all this right now. Is she actually gonna do it when she's in office?
Kamala's not making any silly claims like all wars will end the moment I enter office. That's ridiculous. Nobody would.
She is making a lot of silly comments. Also, I have another question, like one question, and we can be done with this. So, do you believe in God or not?
I do, but let's stick to foreign policy.
You
Let's stick to foreign policy. Let's stick to foreign policy. Wait. We'll get into the religion conversation soon, right? But let's not divert away from foreign policy. Okay, so I'm curious, what do you think of the situation that was going on in Yemen during the Trump administration? I think it's pretty comparable to Israel and Palestine, actually.
Okay, look, bro, listen. Okay, listen, just listen. When all this was happening, how many new wars happened with Trump in office? Answer that question.
Wars that he started?
No, I'm saying how many new wars happened when Trump was in office?
So wars not started by the U.S. president. That's what we're talking about. Wars not controlled by the U.S. No, I'm just breaking it down because there was many wars under Donald Trump. I'm curious, what do you think Donald Trump did when, yes, left-wing guy Bernie Sanders and conservative right-wing guy Mike Lee wrote a bill to stop our support for the Saudis' genocide in Yemen? What did Donald Trump do? This was a Democrat and Republican.
I'm actually not sure on that. You can tell me. I'm not very sure on that.
Yeah, Donald Trump was given an opportunity to end U.S. support for the war in Yemen, genocide which we were supporting for the Saudis, and he denied it. If we were to use his history as a predictor to how he's going to handle foreign policy, if he were reelected, based on that fact, he'll just continue support for, shitty conflicts like shitty governments like Israel. You get what I'm saying? So, if you're supporting the worst humanitarian crisis on earth at that point in time, in the war in Yemen, if you are increasing drone strikes 132%, if you are killing a high-ranking Iranian official, potentially trying to spark a major conflict in the region. I mean, if that was done to a U.S. general, we would declare war on that nation immediately. We did that to Iran. I don't consider you a dove on foreign policy. No matter how many photo ops you take with a dictator, that doesn't make you a dove.
How miserable was your life when Trump was in office?
Honestly, I'm a pretty happy person, both when Trump was in office and when Biden was in office, and same when Obama was in office.
When were you happier? When were you happy when you were like, okay, groceries are cheap. I can actually pour gas in my car and not think
what is Trump's plan to deal with inflation?
What is his plan? To stop sending money to wars. Right?
Stop sending money to wars.
Yes, that's his plan. That's how inflation is going to stop.
So I'm assuming cut spending.
Inflation is happening right now is because we're donating billions of dollars.
I'm assuming
why inflation.
I'm assuming just cut spending. That's the plan. Just cut spending. Because yes, we could talk about like the specifics of the spending, but you're saying in general just cut the spending, and that will just lower inflation.
Well, you're saying cut spending like it's a few dollars. It's billions of dollars.
No, I understand. I'm just talking about the principle here. You're saying the way to deal with inflation is just to cut the spending. Right? That's the main thing.
I didn't say that's the main thing. What I said.
No, but I'm not saying that that's your only thing you're saying. I'm just saying your goal to deal with inflation is to cut spending. Yes, you're talking specifically about foreign wars and foreign aid, but your main goal is just stop spending, right?
Yeah, on foreign countries.
Donald Trump increased the deficit faster than any president in history.
For what?
He did the Trump tax cuts, which were 83% of those tax cuts went to the top 1%. And we saw massive increases in the deficits. he also increased spending, in case you didn't know. So if you want a president that will
He increased
potentially
spending on wars. Hold on, he increased spending on wars. That's
he
what
did increase he did increase the military budget, and we were in active war at that point in time. So yes.
I wonder why he did that. Because if people try invading America, America is prepared.
So you're for increasing spending on wars.
I'm for increasing our country. You know what I mean? Not other countries. I'm not even.
You understand that foreign policy plays a role and affects our country, right? Like when the mustache man, again, we're on TikTok, so I gotta censor certain terms. When the mustache man invaded Poland, he didn't invade the United States, but you understand that would eventually get down the line, and there was a reason why we got involved in the just war that was our involvement in World War II, right? Like, we're not Poland, but it mattered. It matters when a country of Russia's status, or in 1930s Germany's status, just decides they can invade their neighbors for a land grab.
Okay, so I have a question. Since you know how Biden was sending money to these countries, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's sending money to these countries. So.
And the deficit went down under Biden.
Since let's say one of the countries are like, okay, like let's say Ukraine and Russia are fighting, or Israel and Palestine are fighting, he's sending them the money, and then the guys are like, okay, like America's not sending us money, should we attack America for sending them money? We could have war, you know that, right?
The thing is, we actually do spend a tremendous amount of money on our own military, more than the top 10 next countries combined. So I'm not really worried about any foreign country thinking America's vulnerable now, we can attack them, because we're not vulnerable.
If they do attack us, what's gonna happen? World War III, man. Like, come on.
Yeah, well, hopefully they don't attack us. I mean, we live in a world where we could always potentially be attacked. You know, if you're worried about the potential chance of starting a war, then you probably wouldn't want to vote for Donald Trump, who killed an Iranian general. And if a high-ranking Iranian general, apparently like second in command, that's what people say, and somebody did that to us, we would declare war on them. The only reason a major conflict didn't start then and there, which would be a war that we'd be stuck in for decades, is because Iran showed restraint.
So, okay, and I have another question. Okay, this is kind of...
that happened under Donald Trump. You can recognize that, though, right? That he killed an Iranian general. He nearly sparked a massive conflict.
I have a different question for you, okay? So, Are you okay? Are you with... and then we can end this, because I know it's getting dragged on. Are you okay with cartel members just coming in and out of the United States like it's an open door and smuggling millions of pounds of drugs in here? Into America. Are you okay with...
No, I'm not. Luckily, border crossings are down, and luckily that for that.
You think border crossings are down? No, they're not. Border crossings are not down. When Trump was in office, the border was the most secure it's ever been.
Not exactly.
The border was the most secure it's ever been.
There was a pretty similar rate to the border crossings.
There's
under Obama.
No similar rate. When Trump was in office, the borders were the most secure.
I'm looking at the numbers right now. It was pretty much the same rate. In fact, there was a spike of illegal border crossings in May 2019. This is a year before COVID. There was a spike. Under Biden right now, we did cut in this year border crossings down to those Trump levels. I'm sure you're happy about that, right?
Oh, absolutely. I'm happy that the illegal cartel isn't getting in and out. But for the 3 years, so you said in the last year, but for the 3 years he was in office, how much drugs got in here?
Well, I mean, again, let's wait. Let's chill with the drugs talk in general, just because of like TikTok guidelines. You know what I'm saying? But to your point about just like, yes, there was high immigration. At times it went up. At times it went down. At times it went up. At times it went down under Biden, because trends happen when it comes to things like immigration. Waves happen. And what we're seeing now is a potential Democratic administration and a Kamala Harris, if she wins, she's proposing, working with the Republicans, to push a bill that the Republicans made to be harsher on immigration. And while I'm not necessarily a fan of that bill, I can't deny that it would be tough on immigrations.
So you're not a fan of closing our borders even more?
No, but Kamala Harris.
And earlier I heard you say you're against deportation. Why is that?
I mean, I'm not principally against deportation. I'm just I'm for making a system more efficient for people to be able to come here, right? I'm more for that. I'm more for that. Yeah. I'm more for that than I am immigration. But immigration will obviously happen no matter the administration, right? That's just how it's always been.
I'd love people to come here legally. That's not the problem.
Yeah, so I think I agree with the right-wing institutions, the right-wing publications.
So the reason deportation
when they
happens is
I mean, I agree with the right-wing institutions that say rather than investing in Trump's mass deportation plan, which would cause a labor shortage, which would be super costly, we should invest in our money into making a system more efficient. And by the way, when a system's more efficient, you discourage illegal immigration. When you have an inefficient, slow system, you encourage illegal immigration because people just want to work, right? So, again, there is a right-wing bill on the table. There is a right-wing bill that's constantly discussed. There is a tough on immigration bill that's constantly discussed. It's Kamala Harris's bill, so I assume you'll be voting for Kamala Harris.
Absolutely not. But I have another question. So you really think Kamala's going to stand on that? Because I mean, think about it, man. Like,
Democrats voted for it, and Republicans voted against it because they didn't want to give Democrats a political win.
Well, when Kamala was in office with Joe Biden, like I said earlier, obviously she can't do everything, but like she can tell him, hey, let's not do this. Hey, let's not do this. Hey, let's not do this. Back then, it was the household income average to afford a home was $70,000. Right now,
again, Biden didn't press the inflation button. There's many reasons why inflation was happening, and inflation happened internationally. Biden happened internationally. Inflation happened internationally. Like, it didn't just happen because Biden pressed the inflation button. And what we're seeing now is real wages have surpassed inflation. If we were to continue this trend, wages will outpace inflation. This sort of spike of inflation is my belief. We've kind of moved beyond it. One of the reasons we moved beyond it was that Biden has made a fairly strong American economy, from a booming manufacturing sector to, again, slowing down the inflation, from an infrastructure plan, which that helps a ton of different sectors, from construction to manufacturing, the CHIPS Act, right? Putting
Did you
tariffs.
just say that Biden made the economy good? Or something along the lines of that?
Yeah, GDP growth is up, right? GDP growth is up, inflation is down, wages are up.
Okay, wages are up, but everything's also up too.
But
it's not
I mean, are you saying that Trump has a plan for deflation? Because I would love to hear it.
He definitely, dude.
What's his plan?
I have to leave. Actually, I have to leave. But he has a plan. His plan is to stop wars. He's gonna like start drilling, because that's not what Biden's
we're
been doing.
We're
drilling, baby.
We're the highest oil producers in the world.
I know, but Biden like pretty much damn near fucking stopped.
No,
drilling.
he didn't. He increased drilling.
No, he didn't, dude.
He objectively did. You don't know what you're talking about.
Man, but like,
all right, Nate's been waiting, so we're gonna put him in. Drill, baby, drill. What's up, buddy?
I'm Nate. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. What's on your mind?
I was here earlier. I would love to talk to you about the Israel-Hamas conflict.
Sure. What about it?
Well, I heard a little bit of what you'd have to say as to your stance. Would you mind just repeating that?
Yeah, I mean, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict has gone long before October 7th of last year. It's not very complicated. One state has the power, and Palestine is two separate states with two separate governments that are not an equal playing field whatsoever. It's one of my big criticisms of Biden, that he's pretty much let them do whatever they want. Donald Trump, on the other hand, is pretty much saying, I'm going to let them do even more. Kamala Harris is doing both sides on the issue, trying to not offend anybody. I don't really like that, but that's still better. But the big thing about the potential Kamala Harris administration is there's talk that she's going to get rid of a lot of the war hawks in Biden's administration, the very pro-Israel people. Donald Trump let Sheldon Adelson write his Israeli foreign policy, a major donor of his, and he's taken $100 million from Sheldon Adelson's widow, and she wants to see the West Bank get annexed as well. Overall, not a big fan of the state of Israel. That doesn't mean I'm anti-Semitic. I personally have met Jews and I like them a lot, right? But I am anti-mass unaliving. That's what I could say. Again, we're on TikTok, so I have to use the TikTok
Okay.
terms.
Yeah. So what's your definition of mass unaliving?
Yeah, I mean, killing people en masse. I mean, what if you go to a again? I'm trying to think TikTok terms here. If you the nation collectively mourns when there's a school pew-pewing, right?
Yeah.
And the Palestinians essentially lived that experience 100 times per day, every day, and long before October 7th occurred.
Okay. So I just want to make note. So this is a modern conflict, and I'm gonna just use some facts here. So what Israel is doing right now is first of all, Hamas health organization. I'm basing it off of their death count. Okay. Which is the same health organization that's under the constitution of civil jihad, which is to
Well,
eradicate.
they are the only government in Gaza. They don't really
I
have
get
an
it,
alternative.
100%. I understand. I'm just saying that the Hamas health ministry is a part of this government. I think that should be taken note.
Yeah, but there's
So-
not really an alternative. So
You're right. But that's the ministry that's taking death count, sadly,
Yeah.
But so the ratio of death to combatants is 1-to-1, which is really low compared to other wars. And I'm just going to make a comparison real quick. Other wars. So this is from NATO and UN sightings. So in Afghanistan, there was 3 civilians killed to every 1 combatant. In Iraq and in Kosovo, there was 4 civilians to every 1 combatant killed. So, and lastly, on October 7th, hold up. On October 7th, there was a 1-to-2 ratio. So there was about 695 Israeli civilian killed compared to about 300 militants. So when Israel was attacked, there was peace before October 7th.
No, there wasn't. There wasn't.
Well, there was borders. I mean,
Gaza was an open air prison. I mean, you want to look at the numbers about like the death count and the injury count. I mean, you look from 2008 to 2020, there was 5,590 Palestinians that were killed versus 251 Israelis. You look at over the years, there was bombings and so on and so forth, shootings, and it's a massive disparity between Palestinians being affected versus Israelis being affected. But there was never a peace. There was never a genuine peace.
There's no genuine peace.
If you're being blockaded, if you're being, there was a war. What happened in 2021?
What are you referring to?
What am I referring to?
Yeah.
The Israeli war in Gaza in 2021. You understand there was a war there that happened that year.
Yeah, actually, have you ever been to Israel?
I've never been to Israel.
So I've been to Israel. I have 2 friends that have died on October 7th. So
that's horrible. But
I
multiple times that have occurred before and after October 7th, more so to the Palestinian side.
Well, that's what happens when
I mourn your friends, but I mourn them in the same way I mourn every single person that passes away in that conflict.
Yeah, and me too. I pray for the Palestinian people, but at the end of the day, they're poking the giant. Israel is more developed, and Israel's going to do more to safekeep their country.
I think that's an interesting analogy you put there, metaphor, poking the giant. There are smaller people, there are bigger people, right? And if a child approaches you and maybe even throws a punch at your leg, do you then knock out the child? You know what I'm saying? No, you don't. There's appropriate ways to respond to people and to conflicts, and it's pretty clear Israel's not doing that.
Well, sadly, I understand your analogy, and it's not a bad analogy, but at the end of the day, it's your civilians versus another country's. And sadly, that Hamas has to barrage and Israel does not. Poking would be the rockets Hamas sends. Hamas sends rockets all the time, and Israel does not.
Yeah, that's why I said a punch. I And one, they do respond, and two, yes, October 7th was bad, and Israel has a right to defend themselves. They do, but they don't have a right to completely destroy Gaza. They don't have the right to bomb hospitals, and it's very convenient when the government of Israel bombs important institutions to the people of Gaza, from hospitals to schools to mosques to graveyards, and every single time, oh yeah, there was just Hamas there. You know, of course they don't have to prove it. I understand it's very hard to prove, but it's also very hard for them to prove that it is the case that that's true. And
again, I really respect your opinion, but at
Yeah.
the end of the day, the ratio is 1-to-1. Other modern wars in Afghanistan, let's look at September 11th. You could say October 7th was like our America's September 11th. That started the wars in the Middle East. These ratios are way higher in America.
Our
compared
wars
to
in the Middle East,
Afghanistan.
our wars in the Middle East were a mistake. You know, we spent trillions of dollars to be there. It put us into quagmires that we couldn't get out of for the
100%
longest
it's a
time.
mistake,
It
or no
led to
weapons of mass destruction.
destabilization. It led to destabilization in the region and led to the rise of ISIS. So yeah, wait, real quick, Divinity Incarnate, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. But yeah, I think Israel had a right to defend itself after October 7th. And I don't really object to defensive weapons like, let's say, anti-rocket, anti-missile, anti-air weapons being sent in. At this point, I do have to object to offensive weapons being sent currently. I don't think that really is the position of even Kamala Harris, but I think we are more likely to see a sort of stabilization in the region under Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is saying he'll just let Israel do whatever Israel wants to do. So that's not really a productive way to start. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but at the end of the day, I mean, the ball's in Israel's court, you know.
It is. But we are sending them the balls, you know, metaphorically speaking.
Yeah, I know.
Missiles, bullets, all that stuff. We should probably join with the rest of the world in saying that this war it has gone too far, and ultimately many leaders of Hamas are dead. The famous one that people always talk about was Yahya Sinwar. He's dead now. I think we can start working towards a ceasefire at least. But the issue is, it does not seem that Israel really wants to do that.
I mean, I agree with you. We have common ground. We both want peace. I think we should work towards peace. First off, I think it's important to note that Biden and Kamala, you could say just Biden, it doesn't really matter to me. They sent $7 billion to Iran.
Did they? How so?
They had a $7 billion. I think it was like
unfreezing like assets or something.
Yeah,
so it was already, it was like already Iranian money, you know. It's like if we unfroze the sanctions of, say, like the Russian oligarchs that we've sanctioned, they'd essentially just have access to their bank accounts. To me, that's another criticism of the Biden administration for me. I think that the Biden administration should have looked back into doing the Iran deal, which, according to multiple international organizations, Iran was keeping up their bargain and not developing nuclear weapons. But then Trump came in, got rid of the deal, and the nuclear weapon program began, and hostilities began. And ultimately, the problem with Biden is that he's a massive Zionist. And I'm not saying that's an insult. I think he would agree. And he just ideologically very much agrees with Israel, right?
I mean, his Zionism obviously didn't work out because he sent $6 billion as a part of a hostage deal and another $6 billion in unfreezing assets. You could say whatever to that. I'll probably agree, but that lots of that money went to Hamas leading up to October 7th.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of factors that led up to October 7th, including the fact that Israel didn't really give the conditions for democracy to flourish in Gaza. Israel gave the justifications for a more militant group to keep and maintain power, right? And even if, let's say, the people in Gaza wanted Hamas removed, which I'm sure a lot of them do, there was protest against Hamas, but then the protesters were brutally dealt with by the Hamas government. And at this point, 50% of the population is under 18. They weren't even conscious. They were barely conscious, if so, during the last election in 2006. right?
So
So
how would you what would you do in Israel's position, and where would that end up with Hamas in the next years?
I think if I was in Israel's position, let's say going back to October 7th, if I was like the dictator of Israel and could make the decisions, I would probably try to push for more special forces and more those kind of things than just outright bombings, especially of civilian areas. They have the capability of doing this. Excuse me. I would likely not use the excuse, or I would probably again try not to aim like to bomb hospitals and then to use the excuse there was just Hamas there. I probably would not do what Benjamin Netanyahu, or at least not hold his position that Hamas is necessary to keep around, right? Because he wanted a boogeyman in the region. And I would also try to end beforehand the blockade in Gaza. I would try to allow them to develop, become a sort of more wealthier and modern nation, and hopefully that would lead to other political forces rising up, because the status of Gaza gave legitimacy to the government of Hamas. But we've been going at this for a while. We've been going at this for 12 minutes. There is somebody here, 99 Bree, that wants to come on, so I kind of want to move on pretty quick. I guess, is there any final questions? 99 Bree, send an invite. You didn't send an invite, but you said you want to talk to me.
I
Yeah.
mean, we could go on all night, but I appreciate you for talking, and I think it's important to have middle ground, but I just hope you consider some points made. That's all, you know?
I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, 999 Bree. Wait a minute. I recognize that name. I recognize that game, boy. I recognize that. Your band. Somebody followed. Who followed? 804 Exotic. Thanks for the follow, man. I see you've been talking a lot in the chat, but I haven't been responding to the chat much. Thanks for watching. You've been kind of consistently watching. I appreciate you. Also, you have 45,000 followers. What content do you make? Let me check out your page. 804.exotic. TikTok. Let's see here. You got a shop. Well, good for you.
You say you love me, I don't see it, I don't really listen to what you say.
Is that your song? Oh, you used to post edits. I see. Hey, well, if you start making more different kinds of content in the future, then you got a good platform to start with. You made sad edits. I see. Yeah, 45K on TikTok is a pretty good starting position, no matter what goal you have for your page. Thanks for following. And yes, I would have brought up 99 Bree, but I think that was the person that said the N-word a lot. And you know what? We're not gonna let that happen. Let's see what's been going on in YouTube chat. This guy's been watching for a while. I think he's a conservative. He's been upset. Just embarrassing. Young people can't get past Google and read the past. The ball is American. Net and Yahoo. Said you guys were against. I thought these guys were against mass immigration. Nathan, stream starting soon. Oh, I didn't realize that for a bit, but I fixed that. Folks, I want to get one more person on. I see some people joining. Feel free to come on and have a conversation. If you disagree with the prompt that Donald Trump is not as good as Kamala Harris when it comes to our choices for President of the United States. It's 8:53. I want dinner. You feel me? So we're going to have one more person on if one more person shows up. And by the way, Nate, who I just had a conversation with, thank you for the roses. I would debate, but TBH, I don't have a certain person I like between the two. No, I get that. You know, I despised Hillary Clinton. Again, I was a kid at the time and I couldn't vote, but I despised Hillary Clinton. But looking back in retrospect, I disagree with my position at the time. My position was not vote for Hillary because, you know, oh, the Dems lose, they'll be forced to change. And then the Dems lost, and you still have a lot of the sort of Democratic establishment being very relevant. And Donald Trump got to put in 3 Supreme Court judges. I think Supreme Court judges are kind of enough reason to vote Democrat, even if you're not a big fan of those the person on top. Because politics is more than just like the president and shit. And you know, people like to talk about like housing. People like to talk about housing. Saying the last guy earlier was saying housing's gotten so much more expensive and so on and so forth. I'm just kind of curious what his position is, because Kamala Harris has a housing plan. Donald Trump does it. He said, "Drill, baby, drill. Drill, baby, drill." We're the #1 drillers in the world. Drilling increased under Biden. He's giving out more contracts to drillers. We're producing more barrels of oil. User 4720086862169 followed. Thank you for that. But according to my research, Trump cut a lot of tax over the middle class. I think the issue with Trump's tax policy is ultimately he cut in a time where we didn't really need to, but he also increased spending. He increased the deficit. He increased the debt. And his tax cuts weren't really mainly middle class tax cuts. Yes, at that time, the 2017 tax plan, the lowest bracket got like an extra $70, but that really isn't much in the long term. Meanwhile, the rich and the corporations got a tremendous amount, which is why you see the rich, the ultra rich, let's say Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos recently prevented the Washington Post from endorsing Kamala Harris. You know? And his current tax plan that he wants to implement, his current tax plan cuts taxes for only exclusively the top 5% and will be a tax increase on the bottom 95%. So unless you are top 5%, you will be taxed more under Donald Trump. He's also floated around doing removing income tax, which is contradictory to his own plans. But that would be an economic disaster. That would be the largest, in addition to the tariffs that he wants to do, which will make things more expensive, which is a burden only the poor will really experience. He will... I kind of lost my train of thought there, because there's just so much said. But essentially, he's going to screw us. That's the main point. He's going to screw us. He's going to help his rich friends. He's going to increase the debt and increase the deficit. I know that matters a lot to conservatives. I see some people joining, so TikTok is probably pushing. Folks, I'm looking for one more person to debate before I go out and eat dinner. So if you disagree with this position and you're a conservative, feel free to come on. It can be a hostile conversation. It could be a polite conversation, but we'll see what it is when people come on. Leave some hearts, and hopefully does that boost it in the algorithm, boost the stream in the algorithm. Does a straw have 1 or 2 holes? 2. Oh, that's an interesting question. Is the whole thing 1 hole? That's a fascinating question. I actually don't know the answer to that. Well, I guess you could think of it like this. Does a room, let's say you have a room with two like sort of door areas, right? Let's just remove the doors just so it's a hole. Is that 1 hole or 2 holes? Because you enter and you leave. Air is going through both of those doors. It's not being stopped. But when it's a room, it feels like, no, there's 2 holes. 1 there, 1 there. Or maybe think of it less like a room and think of it as a hallway. Is there 2 holes? Or is it 1 big hole? Now that's thought-provoking. That's genuinely the most thought-provoking thing somebody has said in any of these streams that I've done. Potentially. You know, going back to that very hostile debate earlier, I could tell the person was aggressive from the start. So I doubt that a productive conversation was going to come. But Yeah, that just was not the environment to even talk because he was interrupting. And then he got racist. And I don't really mind when people get racist. He was being racist against Indians. I'm not even Indian. That's one thing. But it just, let it be shown that the sort of right wing's true colors. That's on them. And overall, it's going to make a damn good clip. Folks, if there is any disagreement with this position, I assume likely not the 5 real-time people watching, because y'all been here for a while. Y'all probably mainly agree with my position. Or if you don't agree, you probably don't really have the urge to debate at the moment. But I want one more debate. One more! To the 3 people currently watching on YouTube, thanks for doing that. True, I heard from people with money, so they probably got tax cuts. Yeah, they did. Definitely. Definitely the case. I think if TikTok doesn't really push the stream at this moment, I'll give it a few minutes, but if TikTok doesn't really push the stream, I'll probably end stream for now. Got 2 new followers. Thank you to those 2 new followers. I see some people joining, so maybe TikTok is pushing the stream a bit. Folks, if you disagree with my position that Kamala Harris is the better of the 2 choices we have for President of the United States, feel free to let me know. Let's have a conversation. Let's have that debate. I will bring you on to stream if you request to be a guest. Skylar asks, weren't you on Jubilee? I was on Jubilee. I debated Ben Shapiro. 804 Exotic says, peace out. I'm going to dip. Keep it up, though. Thank you for watching, 804 Exotic. Thanks for the follow. But Skylar, yes, I was on Jubilee. I debated Ben. I only got 50 seconds on a topic that I don't really like debating, abortion. But I think I held my ground. If you look at it from a sort of scoring perspective, like a boxing match or like a debate tournament, I countered his claim, made my claim. He didn't respond to my claim. He just started defending the concept of states choosing the policies on, I believe, the TikTok live folks use this term A/B to avoid getting any sort of strikes on their stream. So he did not respond to my claim. He didn't counter my claim. I just made my claim and went unchallenged, and then we ran out of time. So I could say I beat Ben Shapiro in a debate. But folks, if there's any... I don't like how people start raising their flags when the person in the chair starts speaking facts. Yeah. I noticed this more so with the Democrats. The Democrats are more willing to flag a person. I noticed some people putting flags for me. Some very famous people. And it caught my eye. I'm like, okay, I see how it is. And a lot of times they would not flag people that were just doing badly. They would let them go on for a long time and just let a person perform poorly in a video that's going to get tens of millions of views potentially. So yeah, the folks should probably work on their flagging decisions. The system overall of running to a chair is not the best. It's not the most fun. I gotta say, I'm happy that I did it because I had that experience of going to California and all that stuff. But it did cost a lot of money. And to spend that money for travel and for hotel just for 50 seconds of speaking time, it's kind of mid-experience. Tyler asked in the YouTube chat, how many votes she got? Kamala Harris and Donald Trump? I don't know the vote numbers right now for early voting. But I think when it comes to the states that she'll win, I think she will win. Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. There's a bit of risk in Michigan, but I think she can still win Michigan. I don't think she'll win Georgia, but I think she'll win North Carolina because the guy running for governor in North Carolina is a complete joke and a disaster of a candidate. I can't even imagine why the Republicans would nominate him. Well, it's because the party has gotten more radical. She might lose Arizona, but I think she'll win Nevada. But winning the Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania is kind of enough for her if she gets that one Nebraska district. I meant as the doctor candidate. What do you mean? How many votes you get? I meant as the doctor candidate. I don't quite know what the question is. Or, oh, are you talking about Jill Stein? Yeah, Jill Stein's. I don't think she's getting anything. Well, I mean, she'll get some votes, but she won't go far. The latest news with Jill Stein is pretty funny. European Green parties essentially asked Jill Stein to step down and endorse Kamala Harris. So that's pretty funny. Autocorrect screwed my question. Never mind. Oh, no problem. Don't worry about it, Tyler. I get it. But yes, I will give this stream, let's say till 8:50. And if no conservative comes to do a debate, we'll probably end stream for now so I can go eat dinner. But if you guys got any questions, feel free to ask them. Skylar says, I'm so terrified yet excited for Tuesday. Personally, for me, I see a lot of fear. I see a lot of anxiety from people. I'm mainly optimistic. I'm not saying this to be cocky because, you know, if things had stayed the same, we had Biden as the top of the ticket, the Democrats would be losing badly on Tuesday. But we have Kamala, and Kamala has made a lot of good moves, and Donald Trump has run the worst campaign in his entire political career. Genuinely, it's been a disaster, and with that being the situation, I mean, that helps Kamala out a lot. Even in the end of this, Kamala's talking about unity, but also talking about policy that's like fairly populist. You know, workers are gonna love it. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has been kind of angering a lot of people, you know, especially with the MSG Puerto Rico comment. By the way, guys, if you're coming across this stream and you don't follow now or sub now, then I recommend doing that for the future. Tyler asked, do you think if Joe Biden dropped out early, she would have been the DNC candidate? I don't know. There was a lot of people clearly interested in running for president. If Biden were to step down, we would have seen another packed primary, I think. I think people like J.B. Pritzker and Gretchen Whitmer were pretty interested. Definitely Gavin Newsom. I think Bernie Sanders was setting up the infrastructure for if Bernie 2024 were to happen if Biden stepped down. Like, there was a lot of people potentially interested if Biden stepped down. Of course, there was also people that did run against Biden. There was RFK. There was Marianne Williamson. There was Cornel West for a moment. No, Cornel West ran as an independent from the start, I think. The problem with, say, RFK was he really didn't have a message or a platform that resonated with the Democratic base. He wouldn't have done well, even with the Kennedy name. Maybe with the Kennedy name, he would have had a sort of a boost in the start. But he has already been kind of on that anti-vax stuff, and that wouldn't have sold well with the Democratic Party. Tyler says, would you rather have seen that rather than Harris being appointed? Would I rather? Honestly, I'm pretty happy with how things are right now. I think as a result of Kamala being picked, she also chose Tim Walz as her vice presidential nominee. And I strongly believe that puts him in a position, if Kamala wins, as a sort of kingmaker in Democratic politics going into the 2030s. Remember, if Kamala wins now, she's going to run again in 2028. She's going to finish in 2032. And in 2032, I'd rather have one of the kingmakers or a potential candidate be someone like Tim Walz than, say, a Josh Shapiro or Gavin Newsom. So I think things are a little scary, but they're ending up kind of well. Would you have rather seen... Oh, that's the same question I read earlier. Yeah, things could be worse. That's what I can say. And I think Democrats are doing a lot of things right if they want to win. Do you actually like Kamala more? Or is this a bit? Do I like Kamala more than Trump? 100%. 100% Beaver edits on YouTube chat. She'd be a significantly better president than Donald Trump. We already seen Donald Trump govern. And he was a disaster. He didn't fulfill his best promises. He made a super anti-worker environment. His Secretary of Labor was a Jeffrey Epstein lawyer. or excuse me, not the lawyer, the judge that let Jeffrey Epstein kind of go free, right? Did she work at McDonald's? That's the realest question of this entire campaign. That's the biggest controversy. Did she work at McDonald's? I'm sure she did. Of course, you know, McDonald's I don't think keeps record of every single employee that she had, but it would be a silly thing for her to lie about. Guys, you have any other questions? Because the stream isn't really being pushed in the algorithm at this point on TikTok, so I don't think any conservatives are going to come across the stream and debate. Guys, if you're in here right now, follow and subscribe on YouTube and ask any questions kind of before we head out. Maybe some brave soul will just pop out of nowhere in the TikTok chat, and they'll be like, "Put me in." We'll see. We will see. Did she work at McDonald's? I did. They did for me. Yeah, I'm sure they keep records, and they probably have more of a record for those that work now, but I don't think McDonald's corporate has been looking for their records of Kamala Harris potentially working at McDonald's. Either way, I don't think that really matters. If the moon was made out of barbecue spare ribs, would you eat it? I do like ribs. So yes. They'd have to start doing some mining, you know, send a ship up there and bring some ribs down here. Solve world hunger. With ribs. That's the way. All right, folks. It is now 8:52. I said that I would end stream at 8:50. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to end stream now. Wait. One more question. As a Kamala voter, what are your thoughts about Peanut being executed by the state of New York? Peanut? I don't know what that means. Skylar, follow. Tyler, follow. Be for evidence. You could subscribe too. All right. I'll be streaming again. I'll even try to stream on election. Oh, Skylar's already following? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, I'm going to try to stream on election day and probably tomorrow if I get the time. See you guys later. I'm going to end TikTok stream first. I have now ended the TikTok stream. So now you're hearing the YouTube stream. This is a YouTube stream exclusive, guys. A YouTube exclusive. But it's going to end soon, so goodbye. We've been streaming for 3 hours. See you guys later.